For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Janny King, the king of clean, delivers reliable, high-quality commercial cleaning services through a proven franchise model that empowers local business owners. Janny King's franchise owners receive the training, support, and resources needed to succeed, while clients benefit from tailored cleaning solutions backed by a global brand. Janny King ensures consistent results, trust, and success for everyone we serve. Go to JannyKingCleans.com and find out how we can help you. That's JannyKingCleans.com.
Janny King, the king of clean.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. You're thinking of selling your home. Here are several ways to improve the look of your home and possibly the value. Number one, improve the curb appeal with trim bushes and cut the grass. Repaint the exterior where needed, and if needed, paint your front door. Number two, declutter the inside of the home by removing items that are not needed off countertops, dressers, and the den. Three, paint walls and trim where needed with a fresh coat of paint in a light color that will show off your home. Four, clean your oven and microwave inside and out, make it shine. Number five, professionally clean carpets or shine the wood floors with a polish or Bono. Six, clean out all closets or unwanted clothes, shoes, belts, hats, and donate them to a local charity. Finish any leftover repairs now, doorknobs, light bulbs, and closet doors. For a complete list and an in-person evaluation and consultation, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Is your business feeling the heat of cyber attacks? Tired of worrying about ransomware, data breaches, downtime, and employee mistakes? GTI Managed IT Solutions has been your trusted partner since 1999, safeguarding and supporting businesses like yours from the ever-evolving threats in the digital world. GTI, your peace of mind is guaranteed. Call us today at 819-4650 or visit gtinow.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
This is the Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Joey Park.
Welcome into the program here on a lovely Friday afternoon out of Montgomery, Alabama. Eddie Bader here in the studio with me today. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right.
I got really good news this morning.
You've got really good news?
Yes,
about what?
My twin grandchildren will be singing in a church program this weekend.
Oh,
so
adorable.
You will see Eddie show up in church.
Now, is it actually going to be like good singing here?
I expect it to be. It's my grandchildren.
You know what I'm talking about, though. When you go to like that fourth grade pageant and like
Joey, we're talking about 3-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 3. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be great.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. No, it's like watching those direwolf pups.
I'm so excited, but yeah, very, very happy to do
Just sorry, I don't have children or grandchildren, so I mean, I can remember doing those little pageants when I was a kid. Like, this is not good. Even back then, I'm like, we're not good.
I'm participating in them, right? I remember going, this is horrible.
No, I think we did one. It was a musical about Jonah and the whale, and there was a problem because they had a plastic bat as part of the musical pageant, and they didn't use it properly. They were supposed to be, guards, like temple guards or something like that. And one of the kids just started wailing on one of the other kids. And I'm like, this is the best part of the whole musical pageant we've got going on here.
My concern is they'll see Pop Pop and they'll sing the song that I've taught them, Who Let the Dogs Out.
Oh,
and yeah, we don't want that to break out.
Wait, that's what you've taught them? Who let the dogs out?
Last time we were babysitting, we were having fun songs, and I got a text like a day later at 9 p.m. My son said, guess what? Leslie knows a new song now. I said, oh, yeah, what is it? Who Let the Dogs Out? I said, oops, my bad.
Now, I'm looking at the news here, and of course, China just raised tariffs from 84% to 125%. And they signal this is as high as we will go.
Well,
we'll see.
That's why I bought my drone 2 weeks ago.
Now, yesterday we mentioned the Europeans look to be making deals with the Chinese, but Australia rebuffs China's trade overtures, refusing to make common cause. Great news there. Dude, and Trump is now threatening tariffs and sanctions on Mexico again.
A lot of these people have learned their lessons that when you deal with the Chinese people are fine, but the Chinese government, they're going to steal everything they can steal from you and then turn around and make you buy it back.
We also have Steve Witkoff visiting with Putin once again, trying to actually get a ceasefire there.
All
right. Trump putting out a missive saying, Russia needs to get moving. Too many people are dying.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's long, flat fields, and the only thing that stops the bullet is a body.
Yep.
I wish I was making that up, but that's pretty intense. And we need to get into what the heck ever happened to this whole mineral deal with Ukraine. Oh, wait. They're like, that better not hurt our chances of joining the EU if we make a trade mineral deal with the United States.
Well, that's a good deal. You can have the EU talk to Russia and see if you can get them out of their backyard.
Now, wholesale prices, looking at inflation, the producer price index or wholesale prices are actually down about 0.5%, 0.4%. Yet, at the same time, consumer sentiment tumbles on worries of inflation. So
it's a concern. I hear that going
the
around quite a
tariff
bit.
Conversation is definitely driving that. Trump finally declares his preference for a permanent daylight savings time.
Saw that yesterday.
More time for evening golf.
But of course.
But then, of course, the standard time folks are Raising Cane.
Who are they? Who do you know anybody? I just want one or the other.
I saw a bunch of them on Twitter.
Did you? Oh boy.
Oh, by the way, Craig Monger is here. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right. I gotta adjust your
camera. What color
camera.
was their hair?
Let me fix this camera.
Yeah.
What color was the hair of these folks on Twitter?
That's
these
all right.
standard time folks.
I don't click on profile pictures.
Oh, really?
Wait, are you still doing the zoom, the squeezing?
Yeah, because you can see so much fake stuff in there when you do that.
Oh, that's true. That is true. You can see a lot of AI artifacts and whatnot. I mean, let's start there. Which do y'all prefer? The current time we're in right now or standard time?
Summertime guy. I want late sunsets.
I just want this. I don't care. I want the change to stop.
Yeah, me too. But if I have a choice, I want this.
I'd probably agree.
Yeah.
I like the sort of, getting dark around like 6:30, 7.
It's kind of nice. On my depression, it kind of messed with me getting dark too early.
See, the thing is, I have the same thing. I always get the blues during winter, and I don't know if it has to do with the daylight savings time or the weather or whatever. I don't know. The weather, for some reason in the winter, the weather just smells like bad decisions I've made.
Yeah.
But that's a good thought. I've never considered that it might be the shorter days.
To me, it is. And the reason I say that, in Alaska, living up there, you have, whether you like it or not, you can set your clocks or whatever, but sun's coming up in the wintertime about 10:30, and it's going to be dark by 3:30.
Well, I saw the standard time people saying, but especially these heavy states, we'll have 2 to 5 months of when you're commuting in the morning at 8 a.m. Like the sun won't come up to 8:30 in the morning. And so you're going to be commuting in the dark to get to work, and especially these heavy metropolitan areas.
Opposed to what most people do now?
Yeah, I know. It's just, they're Raising Cane. And speaking of that, Raising Cane was confirmed by the Senate after midnight as new chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Why did it take so long? So late?
In ways, I'm not deep into military policy, but in many ways, I kind of like that Trump just jumped all the credentialist hierarchy of the military and just went with the guy who did a good job last time. Yeah. He's my guy. He's going to actually get things done that he says he's going to get done. The idea of how our top brass generals have become almost politicians, worse than the politicians. Worse because they don't actually get voted in.
Right.
They're not even accountable at all.
Thank you.
To the public. It's more playing the game within the bureaucracy there at the Pentagon. So I think we'll see. I mean, a lot of military policy, either way, will come out of this. But just looking at how these folks are picked, I like the Raising Cane decision. Also, today is decision day for radical Maine Democrats. Kick out boys from girls' sports or lose all federal funding. All right, then.
Okay.
I mean, are they really going to double down on this?
Pushing them. Some of them are. They are.
Right.
I'm sure you saw in the news, in Maine, there was a person at a education meeting there, and they pretty much told him to shut up. So.
And then when we get into the local real quick, I want to run this down. Montgomery police officer arrested and relieved of duty, apparently for soliciting an underage girl.
What department do you work in, Joey?
What department? I don't know off the top of my
Career
head.
development, Joey.
What? Say that again?
Career development.
Career
Joey.
development.
Career development.
And he's only 23. Just started, like last year, right? Wow. What a mess.
Yeah. That one.
Absolute mess.
That one gets me pretty good.
Alabama Senate approves record-breaking $12 billion education spending budget. As Speaker Ledbetter continues to make the case, well, we cut revenues by 10%, 1.4 billion. I'm like, well, what's another 250 million then, sir? Like, I think you could have a decrease in revenues by, say, 15%, not just 10%. And
There you go.
you're still doing fine. I mean, what was the fiscal note on that parental leave for all these teachers and whatnot?
I look at too many fiscal notes.
I think it was like 150 million.
Something like that.
Yeah. Oh, also, the state school board approves a 4-year contract, $80,000 raise for Superintendent Mackey.
It's better than the 135 that they initially planned. But,
That's true.
You know,
it's amazing they came down. Right.
Yeah. Not a bad little chunk of change.
The House now passes the bill allowing ABC board to regulate THC products like Delta 8, saying, quote, guardrails on a current unregulated, unchecked, and dangerous industry.
Can I ask you something, Craig?
Sure.
For your opinion, your professional opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If I've got a good business going, a legal business going,
Yeah.
and the state comes in and says, you know what, you're doing a good job, but we're going to take your business. Is that just more gangster? Is that exactly what's happening?
Oh, yeah.
now?
It's
the state is coming and putting out. It is a bunch of criminals. So how can these people sit there with their holier than thou attitude when we know they're just absolute scums of the earth? This is absolutely Al Capone gang material right here.
Oh, of course. But the thing is, they count on an uninformed voting populace.
They damn sure got that.
That's what they do. But meanwhile, there's people that think that the bill is too liberal. They want a complete ban.
Of course, these are the same people that were letting put the marijuana laws in place that the state had voted on. That citizens said, "Hey, you dumbasses, get out of our way." But hey, they're still in the way. Who's in control here?
It is kind of rich to me that it hits this middle ground. And so, like, the 67-year-old franchisee of the place I've been going, like, is she still going to be able to operate?
No.
You might have the Mexican cartel come in here, do the same thing. We're taking your business.
She would have to pay a licensing fee.
So we don't mind if you get high if you pay us enough.
Well, and things would be limited to, I think, 5 milligrams per serving. It
but
would
if I
only
take 2
be,
servings?
Yeah, and no vapes, no vapes ever. So it's only edibles and tinctures and beverages.
Wow.
Yeah, and then that's just nuts
That's why
to
the
me.
state
It's
moves
like
backwards so much because
number one, the product I buy is only 5 milligrams already. It is already independently tested, and like the place I go to already doesn't sell to minors. And in fact, the woman I'm talking to, because this was on my mind when I went by there the other day, she's like, I actually think the problem is there are a lot of these companies flaunting current law.
Dude,
and they're not enforcing current law.
Right, they're not. I showed you the pictures I saw from a convenience store.
Right. And so because they're not enforcing current law, yeah, let's just take our cut of everybody getting a little bit high.
Well, I mean, it's such a slap in the face of the free market.
Yes.
Because what you have here is an industry that is operating within the confines of the law, that people enjoy. And again, they're doing so legally, and they've been successful. The cream rises to the top. The companies that care about giving good quality products to their consumers, the ones that care about independent testing and putting that on their websites or products or whatever in order to set themselves apart, they've done so very successfully, and they've done it again without the mob getting their cut. And that's the problem here.
Yeah,
nobody actually cares.
Right.
That a kid got some Delta 8
100%.
because the same kid can go talk to 85 people at school and get a dime bag tomorrow.
Yep. Or the person has a really bad reaction after they bought the Delta 8 gummy that was right next to the horny goat weed at the Circle K. It's like, you idiot. Why did you even buy that?
But again, it's like, do we, conservatives, Republicans, do we want a nanny state or don't we? Make up your freaking mind.
I don't. Well, and then also clearing the House. Legislation mandating the 10 Commandments displayed in Alabama schools clears House committee.
Yeah. It's... You know, they also had one to mandate that they say the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of the day, and they're still waiting on that one. They almost passed it, but the sponsor, Reed Ingram, I just didn't make it to the room, so they didn't get to it this week. They almost passed that out too.
And again, my experience at Catholic schools, we said the pledge, we said a prayer I mean, I went to mass like 2-3 times a week.
Meanwhile, the Pledge of Allegiance was written by a socialist.
Oh yeah. Bellamy.
Yeah.
And he also had the Bellamy salute. It wasn't quite the Roman.
Not quite. It was a little lower than the Roman.
It was lower than the Roman. But there's those images of kids, black and white images of kids around the flagpole that he was promoting with the arms straight out. It's like that's America.
Yeah,
and he was a Christian socialist,
which is essentially like being an Islamic Nazi. It doesn't make a tremendous amount of sense. No, this is the problem: is the lawmakers, they want the easy kudos, they want the easy, like, hey, look what I did, instead of doing things that are actually difficult,
extra work.
Right.
And again, I'm not super mad that you want to mandate it, because they talk about the historical and cultural significance of the Ten Commandments, which is significant, but you don't have to do. Never mind. I'm very close to freaking out.
But I'm not mad about it either. I'm just like, okay. Like, what? To me, this is like saying we've decided what the state bird is.
Yeah.
Or the state
cookie.
Yeah, it's kind of in that.
It's another one that Reed Ingram did last a couple sessions ago. The cookie was not good.
The cookie? What cookie was it?
I can't even remember. They had high school kids make it. It's like, no.
They should have gone to like nursing homes and talked to cracked into the memories of those little old ladies.
Yeah, where it's like they use Crisco instead of butter.
Right.
And they scooped it out with a hand.
Yeah.
That's an Alabama cookie.
That is an Alabama. Lard instead of butter in the cookies.
And actually earlier I cooked up some corn fritters in like And
I don't mind a good corn fritter though. They're not bad at all.
I have a memory of my great grandmother Anna in Andalusia making those, and I can recall the huge pile of lard.
Yeah,
just throw all that in the cast iron. You got your batter, throw it in. Those things, especially right off the skillet. Woo.
Mm-hmm. Woo. Yeah, well, I'd say same thing for me. The best, like my best experiences with country cooking was in Andalusia too. My great grandmother, before she passed away, she passed away when she was 90, and so just growing up with like that Depression era country food, where it's just so good, just so freaking good.
Yeah,
that's country cooking, which is why I'm always so upset whenever I go to like a restaurant or a barbecue
get scammed.
spot, and I'm just like, did you not have a
mom? It's right out of the box.
Like barbecue in the state is immensely disappointing, with the exception of like one or two places.
Honestly, after visiting my brother in say South Carolina, oh my God. And the Carolina base, but they also have now Texas Place Barbecue. The guy who helped start Franklin's has one there called Lewis Barbecue in Greenville.
The meat scientist who's autistic as all get out, but puts it to good use.
And when you walk in, it's prime grade brisket. And when you walk in, you ever been in here? Have you ever tried a brisket? No. Hold out your hand like this, and they don't. It's not a little thing. It's a big old chunk. You're like, okay, give me 2 pounds of that. It's remarkable.
Yeah, and the thing is, man, I really wish I could get good. The problem is, in order to make good food, you have to make bad food. And when me and my wife first got together, I was the big cooker. I'm still a big cooker, but she didn't have any interest, and she was too intimidated, and she would always freak out. She just didn't want to get started on it. Sure. Now she's a stud, but that's what I told her. I said, listen, in order to make good food, you have to make bad food. Yep. That's the only way to learn how to make good food. So I would love to get good at making a brisket, because briskets are so good. But the problem is, it's like, do I really want a $70 failure every time?
Yeah. For the first 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I don't make that kind of money.
No, it's tough. Now, my brother did one for Thanksgiving. Instead of doing a big turkey, we did Thanksgiving at his place right before the Iron Bowl. And he got a Snake River Farms Wagyu brisket.
Oh, wow.
And did it on the Traeger overnight. It was incredible.
I want a Traeger so bad. I'm so broke now.
It's cheating.
I have an old school, just a regular charcoal grill right now. But ribs, smoked ribs, or just grilled ribs, I do. My ribs are legendary, and smoked wings.
Dude.
So I have those nailed down, but I really want to move to the brisket, but it's so intimidating.
By the way, we just got off the whole Delta 8, 10 Commandments. We're just moving on to talking about food. It's Friday, 272-9228, whatever you want to talk about. You can call us up at 272-9228. Real quick, disturbing story. First, we saw the headline yesterday, letters containing pornographic pictures sent to House lawmakers.
Yep.
And now it is confirmed it's a Dothan state worker charged with sending child porn?
Child porn, yeah. Apparently it was children performing sex acts in the with one another in the pictures.
Yeah, when I just heard pornographic, I'm like, what are we talking?
I was
my
in
God.
the building when this happened, and people were very close-lipped, and so I wondered why. I'm like, listen, I told actually I was sending text messages to people kind of laughing, like I simultaneously want to see and don't want to see the pictures, and that's before I found out that it was child porn.
Right.
But I was wondering why everyone was so close-lipped about it, and now I understand. Oh, because I'm pretty sure it'd be like a misdemeanor if it was just some people doing hanky-panky. Yeah. Now we're talking about felony, so I understand why. And apparently, I haven't been able to get this confirmed, but apparently it was directed to people who last year passed a bill mandating some sort of child porn laws on the internet, and this is apparently to make the point that it's still available on. Apparently they said it was still available on social media, so I don't know if it was like a screenshot.
This guy must not be right in the head.
Oh no, he's not. I mean, you look at him; he's definitely touched.
You see what his job was? Driver's license examiner.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure being R-worded is a requirement.
Oh, by the way, I still need to get a real ID. I better get on that.
A what now?
A real ID.
Why,
it's
you're
the
just
whole
faking?
star ID thing.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now the SAVE Act was passed by the Congress, the House there, and that's going to be a good way to say, hey, yeah, I'm a citizen because I got the star ID, the whole thing that was passed after for our safety after 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
how many years ago was that?
20. I can't do math.
Yeah.
A lot of years.
Yeah.
Several score.
And why are we still doing this?
Well, this was to secure elections.
No, this is because they want 10 more bucks from you.
Yeah.
That's what drove me crazy about the concealed carry permits.
Me too.
It's like,
me too, man.
3 years is $50, 4 years is $60.
Give you a deal.
It's like, it's the same piece of plastic. Like, what's the
difference?
What's the difference?
You.
Exactly.
Man, it's absolutely nuts.
Yep.
And of course, the main thing everybody's talking about on X right now is this Joe Rogan podcast with Dave Smith and Douglas Murray.
I listened to it twice.
Twice.
Fantastic.
And first, I saw you sent me some stuff. I was seeing reactions, like Sagar of Crystal and Sagar. I'm seeing all these folks before I could watch it, like give initial reactions. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just sit down. And I was just a pig in slop. Let me explain. I've been following Dave Smith very closely, as well as Douglas Murray very closely for years now. And I've always seen this like huge dissonance, especially a narrative on foreign policy, in particular with Israel and Palestine. And it's just like, I want to see these guys not in a debate where you each get 5 minutes and stuff. I want to see these guys in the exact setting Joe Rogan put together. And I was not disappointed. I was a little disappointed seeing the reaction. Like everybody that was already convinced of their position thinks their guy won. I have to say, if I'm pushed on overall points, I think Dave Smith won the argument, but it wasn't like a runaway, in my humble opinion. And as
From
much
who? What wasn't a runaway? I think I missed that.
No, I think Dave won on overall points, but I don't think it's like it was a blowout.
Oh, I disagree. Mainly not because of Dave Smith's performance, but mainly because of Murray's performance. I think the whole discussion about the woke right, I think it's pretty much now after that established who the woke right actually is. And it's the sort of traditional war hawk, neocon types that will defend Israel till the death. And now apparently Ukraine as well, because he immediately started off with this weird accusatory, but it wasn't a very well fleshed out argument. And then when they actually got into the substance of it, this sort of flippant, I'm exasperated with your arguments, and you haven't actually been to Israel, whole thing. I thought it was embarrassing for Douglas Murray. I think he made the best case that you can if you're making that case, but his general attitude and his behavior in the podcast made you. It didn't look good for him because he wasn't able to deal substantively with what Dave Smith was saying. So I thought it was a walk away.
I thought his weakest point was when he just started laughing after Dave brought up Pot Horowitz and what Wesley Clark said.
Mhm.
That was, to me, the weakest. And it went a little off the rails. Kudos to Joe Rogan. As soon as it almost goes off the rails, Rogan would just kind of bring it back to the point. Honestly, because I'd seen all the early reactions, Douglas is already embarrassing himself at the beginning. I'm watching it. I'm like, I kind of appreciate him clearing the air. Like, just come out of the gate, say this to Joe Rogan's face, say this to Dave Smith's face. Let's have this out. And yes, I think initially it's like, this is obnoxious.
Yeah.
Especially like his point about you've never been to actually see, say, the crossing grounds in Israel.
Yeah.
well, you haven't actually listened to 9 hours of Daryl Cooper.
Exactly.
It's kind of the same thing. And that contradicts all over the place. But I liked how getting that out, clearing the air, did lead to an interesting agreement about the oddities bubbling up since the loss of trust in experts.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with that. The problem with what he brought up in the beginning isn't because he didn't have a point. He had a ghost of a point. He had there was a penumbra of a point, and the problem was where he screwed himself over is he hadn't chewed it. He hadn't masticated that idea enough in order to articulate it well. So he ended up kind of just sounding way too vague and way too general. And again, he did exactly what he would criticize people on the left for doing, which is I'm going to make an entire opinion about someone's ideas and thoughts and credentials based on a clip that I've seen floating around on Twitter. Because when they're asked, have you ingested any of this? Have you done so you can't talk about a country that you haven't been to, but unless you've been to it,
right.
But you can give an opinion about a person's work on historical events without actually having listening to what he has to say. It was a bad showing, and I think that it was a great display of how to have a conversation and a discussion in bad faith.
Well, I'll be blunt about it. I think Dave was much more correct on Ukraine and Russia and in general on the entire failure of U.S. foreign policy for the last few decades. I tend to be more in the camp of not in every dot and tittle of Douglas on what's currently happening with Israel. Not the history, because you can go back in the history and there were a lot of Israelis predicted we're going to become a security state. This is going to ruin us and whatnot. I think if you play this back, say, since 1968, this is what a tragedy walking on stilts with blame all over the place. I thought the counterfactual, though, about Hamas after 2005, and Dave had nice rebuttals, too, about how Hamas didn't ever win an outright majority in that first election after 2005, after Israel pulls out.
Yeah.
But they did win pluralities, and then they essentially start killing all the opposition.
Yeah.
And controlling. But I think there is a good point of how do you, at this point, after October 7th, there is a practical question. The fog of war thing is very real. Looking back is very clear. And this is something I love people like Scott Horton, for instance.
Yeah.
But when you ask them, okay, you're the president, what do you do? There's sometimes, I think, a question mark. And you keep going back in time. And that's, I think, some of the more interesting stuff. And I've never been satisfied talking to Judge Knapp, talking to a lot of these folks, never been satisfied with the history lessons. I'm like, well, okay, that's true. What now?
Yeah, I think the history lessons are important for one huge reason, because there's a sort of view of Israel as, as Dave Smith actually made this point. It's like, well, why are you talking about all the bad things about Ukraine and you're not talking about all the bad things with Russia? It's like, yeah, because that they're an enemy and that's essentially a given.
Yes.
So it's like, Israel, the state of Israel has been elevated to this status, especially recently, of almost this untouchable level. So you have to. We all get it. Hamas, October 7th, they've absolutely decimated their own people through their actions. Hamas is a complete disaster.
And not just October 7th, but what they did in the last 18 years, how they set up the whole society.
Yeah, but then again, it's also good to point out that they were funded directly by Israel. They were funded because they didn't want the PLO, or not the PLO, the Palestinian Authority. So because they didn't want them because they're a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah.
And so now it's kind of like, okay, if you fund a terrorist organization and they do terroristy things, you then can't use the terroristy things as an excuse for wiping out a domestic population and all their domestic structures and all this. You can, but if my country's going to fund it, I have the right to be like, I don't think that's right. And, to say just because you don't have a direct solution, and I think there were plenty of direct solutions, what did we do in Afghanistan initially is we did special forces operations to directly target people. We didn't blow up an entire apartment building because we had intelligence that person X, Y, or Z was there. I know that JD Vance and Tulsi Gabbard and Pete Hegseth did that just recently in Yemen and thought that it was adorable. I don't. I think at a certain point, and this is where the history becomes relevant, we have to start thinking about the long-term implications of our actions overseas and how they create problems for us 15, 20 years down the road, the same way that it happened with Iraq and Afghanistan and Al-Qaeda. Well, I think Dave Smith brought this up in the debate. He's like, well, what Osama bin Laden said, his reasons for attacking us on 9/11 was, one, to try to draw America into a bankrupting war. But if you read his manifesto, essentially, it was because of the things that America did backing Israel, specifically the blockading of Muslim countries that led to starvation. That's why. So why can't we have a conversation about history so we don't repeat the errors that we've already made?
Well, and I think let me give the larger picture. I've, again, been watching these two guys in particular for a while now. And I love that they were perfectly in character. Where folks are like, Douglas was so snooty. I'm like, that's Douglas Murray. Yeah. Like, that's who that guy is. And where he's fantastic on certain things, you might disagree with him on other things. And he's not changing his personality.
And it's a tactic, by the way, to draw out, to annoy the opponent and get them flustered. Yes. Which, by the way, sorry to interrupt, Neil Ferguson did that to Scott Horton brilliantly.
Oh, it worked?
Oh, he told him to stop sounding like a girl.
Right. Oh, you're right.
He was like, just talk faster. You're wasting everybody's time. Why do you have to do that inflection like a girl at the end of your voice? You're
right.
He really got mad
about
at him.
That.
Dave Smith stayed perfectly in pocket, cool as a cucumber, and I think he did brilliantly because it's an easy trap to get into because it's meant to annoy you.
And so the bigger point for me is, like, I love that both of them were in character. And I love that this was a collision that Joe Rogan made possible, especially the point where Murray got a little feisty about who you're having on and stuff. Rogan made it clear, I have people on I think are fascinating and interesting, and I want to hear their point of view. That's why I have you on.
Yeah.
And I thought this is what we need more of. Less the Twitter flame wars that will go on, and the back and forth will go on. It's like, oh, here's Will Chamberlain and James Lindsay fighting with a lot of my libertarian friends and going back and forth. Great. But I actually saw the sort of collision as a very worthwhile thing. I wish it could have kept going for a few more hours. This was so much better than, remember the Lex Friedman debate with Finkelstein and
oh
my God,
Finkelstein did the same thing to Destiny that Murray tried to do to Dave Smith here, and was just like, he was like, excuse me, I don't need your Wikipedia degree. It's like, listen, people can learn things through various means. It can be an audio book, it can be a long form podcast, it could be a book, it could be hanging out the archives. Deal with the substance of their arguments. It's called the genetic fallacy. It's a legitimate logical fallacy where and Douglas did this repeatedly. He disregarded what he was saying because, of course, you would quote this right-wing Israeli politician. You would quote the World Bank. You would quote Wesley Clark. Of course, just saying it flippantly and not dealing with the substance of the argument.
Oh, you believe Vladimir Putin. Well, why do you believe him when you say he wants to reconstitute the Soviet Union?
Yeah, except he didn't say, I'm sorry, if one more person says that, I'm going to lose.
He's called it the greatest tragedy of the 20th century that it fell apart.
Yeah, and he says he wants to reestablish Soviet spheres of influence. Right. That does not mean the same borders, because even I think Putin might actually agree that the Soviet Union was slightly overextended.
Eddie, do you have anything?
Get this great house in Millbrook right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really do.
I like that shirt, by the way.
Got a lot of compliments on this shirt today.
Oh, by the way, I think there are a lot of moments. What I loved about it after the clashing and the obnoxiousness, there were these weird moments of like, we kind of agree on these long-term trends. I'll put it this way. I think there is a lot of nastiness on the right and the left bubbling under the surface right now. And this is why I am praying to God. I'm not just saying that. I'm praying to God that whatever Trump and team are doing actually works.
It's not going to matter if it works. You had a ceasefire, and what happened to that?
Oh, I don't mean just like the war stuff. I mean the economy. I mean America.
Yeah.
If we go into the toilet economically, the that all that love for Luigi Mangione when he kills that healthcare guy, all that, like, it's not a criticism of, say, Israeli policy and helping funnel money to Hamas. It's the Jews that's the problem. All that stuff comes up to the surface more and more. And I think Murray did make a good point about be careful who comes after you. Not just like Dave, and not just, I think the left-wingers are dealing with that too now. Careful who comes after you. And this is why I am praying that Trump and team actually find economic success, because when that stuff rises up is when things are going really badly and people are looking for somebody to blame, whether it's the elites or whatever else.
Yeah, I just final point here, because I could rehash this for the rest of the show.
It's great.
It's so great. But I think that Douglas actually did himself a disservice in the exact opposite of what he was trying to do. Because, and I think Rogan and Smith made solid points here where they were talking about people are seeing that they've been lied to and they begin to question everything. And that can be a wishy-washy thing. But the problem is, you're mostly seeing that from like anon account douchebags on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then what you're doing is you're taking this person who Martyr made, who made a statement.
Yes.
All these anons come in and like double down. Then you put them all in one hodgepodge. So you're the one making this entire segment of the population that's going to have some people that are maybe questionable of the post-war consensus. Maybe they're even questioning the Holocaust. Maybe they're questioning all sorts of historical narratives. Now all of a sudden it's your time to come up there and put the facts out before the people. And what do? You first of all, you kind of throw people that don't deserve to be under the bus by accusing them of harboring Jew hatred or whatever.
Right.
And then when it comes to the actual facts, you don't have a great command or great argument against what Dave Smith or Joe Rogan is saying. So now people are even going to be more cemented because you just look like a woke lefty who's trying to call us anti-Semitic for questioning historical narratives, and you don't have the facts on your side. So if I'm a legitimate bro who's gone down the Jew hole and is having some questionable ideas, I'm even more cemented in those ideas after listening to this, not less. And I think that Douglas could have done a better job of his own stated purpose of getting people out of the Jew hole and maybe focusing on more real and substantive issues that affect geopolitics.
Yeah, I love this conversation because it broached so many things, in particular the long-term trends of we live in an era where people don't trust the so-called experts. Mm-hmm. They don't trust institutions, but you do. I think this is where Douglas was strongest, though he, to your point, I think failed to reach a certain audience. Is you do need expertise.
Yeah.
You do need people where it's not credentials. It's just somebody who knows their stuff. And I'm almost thinking you need brilliant generalists, people that actually build things, people where there are ways and metrics. We're going to have to come up with new metrics on how folks actually prove their credibility.
Yeah. But again, it's you prove your credibility by having a command of the facts.
Yeah.
And that can happen whether or not you have a time. Well, I mean, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say there's actually one part I left out that was the greatest moment of the podcast.
Oh, what's
and
that?
Everybody seems to be missing it. It was this moment right here. I think. Take it away, Joe.
Every time I see people that disagree with anything that's happening, any gigantic world events, it's one of these retarded shows where they're screaming. There's the word again. We brought it. Yeah. We were just talking about
you
that.
Did it early.
The word retarded is back, and it's one of the great culture victories that I think is spurred on probably by podcasts. But
the word retarded, is back.
It never left for me.
No, and I think Craig and I both wanted to just because it was, I appreciate it for the moment. I think the winner of it, actually, if this is dodging the question a bit, is Rogan.
Oh, 100%.
Rogan did what an amazing conversation. I wanted it to keep going. I like seeing these sort of Clash of Titans things, and not in the sort of Piers Morgan retarded train wreck.
Yeah, where five
Rogan's
people talking over one another.
Right.
You're all in the same room. You're able, and I mean, and there was some Douglas does have a weird problem with interrupting,
yes.
But it's not super egregious.
Well, and that's where Joe stepped in. That was the best. Joe was masterful in this. He shut up most of the time. My grandfather watched it with me. He goes, "Why isn't Rogan talking?" I'm like, "Because he's doing his job perfectly."
Yeah.
And as soon as it almost went off the rails, he's like, "Guys, get back to the point.
And I think that point came when Rogan got annoyed with Douglas, with everyone else. It's like, what?
Yes.
I haven't been to the West Bank. It's like, that really means nothing. And I'll explain why. Because you're always escorted. If you go and you actually want to go, you're going to go see. So you're actually getting a less realistic view of on the ground whenever when you arrange a trip down there.
I'm not saying Douglas has achieved this, but I do appreciate those days, say in the 30s or the 20s, where George Orwell goes to, say, the Spanish Civil War and is actually writing on the ground. I saw some folks bringing up Walter Duranty, how I've been to Russia and there's no starvation in Ukraine. I'm like, yeah, I see your point, man, but it took Gareth Jones actually going there to disprove that written lie in the New York Times.
Oh, trust me, I kind of agree. I think it's a silly argument, but I do think you should make an effort. If I made the money that these guys make, I'd be traveling all the time.
Wish Douglas would shut up about you haven't been, how he doubled down with the disdain and condescension. Okay, get to the facts. Because you've been there, what extra facts do you have that Dave doesn't know that he just read?
Yeah.
Actually get to the details.
Exactly. And here's the thing. I lived in China for 15 years. Half of my life, I lived in China. In that time, I knew absolutely nothing about the political system of China because it's kept from the people in the media about how things actually work, what the rules are, what's actually going on. Nobody there has any idea about the Tiananmen Square massacre. At least when I was there, the internet was heavily. I couldn't even get on YouTube. So I learned most about China's political system when I actually wasn't there.
Right.
So,
but you did get to ride a tiger, right?
I did get to ride a tiger, even though that's disputed by my parents.
We have to hit a break here. But first, this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. You use them, don't you, Eddie?
Quite often, my friend.
They're so good, folks, because they give you, at the end of the day, peace of mind.
Yep.
Like, say you are worried that storm that rolled through last night was a little rougher than I suspected it would be.
It snapped one of my for sale signs right in half. I found it in one of the neighbors' yards.
So if you're hearing bumps in the middle of the night, you're like, I haven't had the roof checked out in a while. Why not call up River Region Contracting? The great news is their inspections are always free.
Yep.
Say they do find a problem, that estimate, they'll write it up for free. The estimate's accurate. They show up on time. They get the job done well. They will sit down with you and explain exactly what the problem is, exactly how they're going to fix it. They're not going to be bothered at all if you're wondering exactly what's going on. And if you're worried about the whole insurance process, well, they're insurance specialists there at River Region Contracting. They can walk you through that claims process and make it a swift and easy experience. So call up Todd Clark and the team today. That number for River Region Contracting, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that, well, Joey and Eddie and Craig, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you? I just wanted to request a late checkout, please. Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours. Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours.
Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Adams Drugs has been committed to the healthcare of the people of the River Region for over 62 years. We value the trust each customer has in our pharmacists, techs, and entire staff. If you have not experienced the difference of Adams Drugs and are not satisfied with the customer service that you get in the big box stores, we invite you to visit any of our locations and see how committed we are to your satisfaction. Adams Drugs offers a variety of services that you will not find in all pharmacies in the River Region. Personalized compounding, area-wide delivery, wellness screenings, immunizations, medication consultations, and specialized packaging, just to name a few. Visit us at our website, adamsdrugs.net, and find the location nearest you. Adams Drugs has 12 convenient locations to serve you. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Adams Drugs is your local Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
For reliable electrical services in Central Alabama, trust the experts at Crosby Electric. Crosby's licensed and insured electricians are ready to tackle any project for your home. From troubleshooting, repairs, to installing new lighting and preventive maintenance. And Crosby understands the need for quality service for small business. Crosby is big enough for the largest job, yet small enough to bring real value. Visit CrosbyElectric.com to schedule your service. Crosby, powering Central Alabama with excellence.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. For over 21 years, Blue Water Broadcasting has been a proud part of the River region. We're not just a company, we're your neighbors. Our owners, air staff, account executives, and support team all live right here. We believe in this community, and we stand by our slogan, Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Pretty good weekend forecast, only a little bit cooler. Today's high temperature up to about 70, 71. Look for a sun and cloud mix. There could be an isolated late afternoon or evening shower, but not a big deal. Otherwise, chilly overnight. Low temperature down to about the low 40s. Saturday will be the coolest day with high temperature only in the mid to upper 60s and down to about 41 by dawn on Sunday morning. But a nice Sunday afternoon warm up with plenty of sunshine, high in the middle 70s, maybe even teasing the mid 80s by Monday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Alabama weather will never fail to surprise you. Our lawns hardly get a chance to have any downtime, and as usual, it's already time to start getting ready for spring. This year, save the hard work and aggravation and call Alabama Lawns, the River Region's leader in weed control and fertilization services. What makes Alabama Lawns the River Region's best? It's the people. They have the experience, education, and commitment to customer satisfaction. Ask your neighbors. Alabama Lawns has been the Montgomery Advertiser's Reader's Choice Award winner 13 years in a row. The Alabama Lawn staff is made up of long-term employees and agronomy graduates, and the staff at Alabama Lawns attend annual continuing education classes. It pays to have someone that knows southern grass types and how to keep them green and flourishing. Call Alabama Lawns today at 272-7171 and let them show you real value in a lawn maintenance service. Alabama Lawns, the company with black trucks and green lawns. 272-7171.
Come on down to Epicure and Jack's Tavern, where Southern comfort meets culinary delight. For just $9.99, seniors can enjoy their lunch meat special with 3 hearty sides, including a drink and bread. Regular sizes are just $13.99. Remember, at Epicure and Jack's, they make every dish from scratch every day. This isn't fast food, it's fresh food, crafted with care. Join them for a taste of the South, only at Epicure and Jack's Tavern.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Man, talking about the great debate, more conversation. Actually, that's how debate should be. It's gotten me hungry, though. And also, I see you over there. Do you wear that,
like that
while you barbecue?
I like that. Well,
or do you wear that when you eat barbecue?
No, that's why it's so clean.
Oh, okay.
But I did have intentions of stopping because I was in Millbrook today. I was going to show them my shirt. But a couple phone calls later, and I had to leave Millbrook.
Wait, stopping where?
Smokehouse Barbecue, baby.
Smokehouse Pit Barbecue, folks.
I was going to get us all some sandwiches.
By the way, I mean, you can surprise yourself. Just show up Main Street at Millbrook and sit down, look at the menu, or you can go to Smokehouse Pit Barbecue. That's smokehousepitbbq.com.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the menu yourself. Look at it early.
Nice.
You're going to want to go. You're going to want to go quick. Because actually they have a meat and 3 daily lunch special. If you're looking for just a quick lunch, the meat choices are southern fried chicken, fried pork chops, grilled pork chops, country fried steak. Nothing wrong with that. Hamburger steak or fried catfish. You put mustard on it?
You know I do with hot sauce.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. And, of course, sides are like lima beans, barbecue beans, mac and cheese, potato salad, black-eyed peas, mashed potatoes and gravy, fried green tomatoes, coleslaw, whatever you can desire. And don't forget dessert like banana pudding, peach cobbler, blackberry cobbler, or the daily pie or cake slice.
I'll take one.
Or both?
No, not the slice, just the pie.
Oh, just the pie.
The whole pie.
And you can dine in, take out, and don't forget about their amazing breakfast. They do Tuesday through Sunday, amazing Southern down-home breakfast in the best way possible. Big old sides, amazing cheese grits, pancakes bigger than your face. It's just burritos, breakfast bowls, sandwiches, like biscuits and gravy. If you want to go real old school, they got it all.
You know I'm dieting, you big fat meanie.
Well, have you actually been to Smokehouse Pit Barbecue?
You keep saying you're going to take me, and you don't.
Well, then I'm glad that you've not talked about it then, because you must go to Smokehouse Pit Barbecue to be able to talk about Smokehouse Pit Barbecue.
Well, if you just drive by, though, you could smell it. You can smell. I mean, that smell just kind of wafts you right in, man.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And they're, by the way, over the 20 plus years they've been around, almost 30 years, they've had a lot of different changes in, say, ownership management.
Yep.
With the new management, they're back to the original recipes that made Smokehouse so famous.
Yeah.
A true pit master there, putting out some of the best barbecue here in the area. So y'all check them out today. Get by there, Main Street in Millbrook, and be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie and Craig sent you. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. Oh, crap. Could you try to call up our regular guy there? Man, the markets, what is it doing today? It is actually up about a little shy of 2% on the Dow. So that's a fairly good sign. But it's gold surges past $3,200. Damn. Well, that shows a lot of people are nervous if gold is going up that much.
Yeah.
And the gold inflows into the United States are quite amazing with the worry about this. I mean, what Trump did at midweek, I thought was great compared to what was the initial threat. And I was saying last week, just listening to Scott Besson, I just heard the signal through the noise. That this was always about, say, sorting all these other nations that come into the United States orbit and negotiate and put China in a box. The Europeans, I think, showed their ass a little bit too, though.
Just a little. That's fine. Process, I love that. Show your true colors.
So we'll see. And we actually have Austin Branco with Invista Advisors on the phone right now. Hey, Austin, how you doing?
Hey, having a good Friday, Joey. What about y'all?
Oh, we're having a lively debate. After the debate, we're enjoying ourselves today. But I was just talking about the markets. Looks like it's a little up to date, but gold going up, and it seems like the volatility right now is here to stay.
Yes, we are definitely in a volatile environment. We don't see this slowing down for a while. The market struggles to find its footing when there's no indication of how far these negotiations are going to be drug out, who is going to argue in good faith or negotiate in good faith, and who isn't. It's clear that China and the U.S. are kind of the two big boys in the room going back and forth, but China makes up, only a fifth or even slightly less, a fifth of the world economy, so you've still got a large portion of other countries that we have to get settled out with these tariff rates. It's very difficult to digest, even as a professional. So, what I'd say to listeners who are trying to make heads or tails of this is when you can't make heads or tails of what direction the market is heading in, if you're a momentum trader, it's crucial that you have set a risk tolerance and operate within that. Now is not the time to get cute and change your plan. Now is the time where you double down on your plan and say, hey, if I'm not intending to have too much risk, I'm certainly not stepping out on a limb today with risk. And so, we've had back-to-back days of calls with our whole client base. We've recorded these Zoom calls if anyone would like to read, but we've done full-blown economic analysis from the top down and explained our thesis, which this year we are outperforming in a big way because we are risk managers first. And so, that's really the message I have to anyone listening is in a market like this where you can't call which direction we're headed, hopefully your risk tolerance is properly set. And if you don't know how to do that, give us a call and we can help.
And it's not just helping with that risk tolerance or your stock portfolio. You're also talking about a holistic approach to preserving your long-term wealth, folks, to giving you a plan on anything concerning your money. And you just start the conversation with Invista at 387-0094. Again, that's 387-0094. And be sure to say, I heard that smart fella, that's Austin Baranco on there with Joey, and I want to see what y'all can do for me.
I appreciate you, Joe, and y'all have a great weekend.
You too.
See you, Austin. See you, brother.
See you, dude. The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Second hour coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The U.S. economy receiving another glimmer of encouraging news. The Labor Department reporting its producer price index, which tracks inflation before it hits consumers. It was down 0.4% from February, while the March producer prices are up 2.7% year over year. That figure is down from February's mark of 3.2% and 0.6% lower than economist projections of a jump. China announcing countermeasures by raising tariffs on U.S. goods from 84 to 125%, and that will start on Saturday. Earlier this week, President Trump hit a pause on tariffs for other countries. The president's universal tariffs on China now total 145%. Stocks are higher. The Dow now up 305 points. This is SRN News.
Don't settle for less. Your dog deserves the best. That's why we created Dr. Fido's, a plant-based dog food topper packed with 40 ingredients made with whole foods from carrots to bananas. And the best part? No cooking, no chopping, just stir it into their food. Go to drfidos.com and subscribe today and save $20 a month. Vet developed, dog trusted. This is the human-grade dog food topper that gives you peace of mind. Dogs can't write 5-star reviews, but their owners have.
I've always thought that dog food seems like a little bland, and so this helps give it a little bit of flavor, just something interesting for them, and yeah, they really love it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
Go to drfidos.com and subscribe to save $20 each month. That's drphytos.com.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by MPM Feed and Seed. It's time to get those gardens ready. From seeds to plants to fertilizer, MPM has what you need. Shop MPM Feed and Seed in Prattville, 1313 Highway 31 North. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, Saturdays, 8 to 1.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Pretty good weekend forecast, only a little bit cooler. Today's high temperature up to about 70, 71. Look for a sun and cloud mix. There could be an isolated late afternoon or evening shower, but not a big deal. Otherwise, chilly overnight. Low temperature down to about the low 40s. Saturday will be the coolest day with high temperature only in the mid to upper 60s and down to about 41 by dawn on Sunday morning. But a nice Sunday afternoon warm up with plenty of sunshine, high in the middle 70s, maybe even teasing the mid 80s by Monday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories.
The Alabama Department of Human Resources announced a new app for EBT cardholders to access their accounts and check SNAP balances. The Connect EBT app will allow cardholders additional controls to help prevent theft of EBT benefits as well. The app is now available on the App Store and Google Play Store. A Montgomery man has been sentenced for a shooting that injured a 4-year-old child. 27-year-old Brendan James Jordan was involved in a March shootout on Atlanta Highway where a child was hit by stray gunfire. Jordan was sentenced to 14 and a half years in federal prison on Thursday. There is no parole in the federal prison system. A Montgomery police officer was arrested and relieved from duty on Thursday. 22-year-old Nicholas Zachary is accused of electronically soliciting a child. MPD opened an investigation on March 27th, placing Zachary on administrative leave after becoming aware of the allegations. No further information has been released in this ongoing investigation. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Attention business owners! Did you know that about 90% of employees and customers are unhappy when they walk into a dirty building? Let Janny King, the king of clean, keep your business pristine. Janny King's local franchise owners can handle your cleaning needs with reliable, hands-on cleaning solutions that deliver more than just a clean space. Janny King comes with regional support, which ensures consistency and quality, allowing you to focus on all the other needs of your business. Go to JannyKingCleans.com.
Janny King, the king of clean.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon, or as we call this show online, Joey Clark Live. It's just a local talk radio show out of Montgomery, Alabama. We cover all things that might catch our interest. Eddie Bader still in the studio.
How you doing, buddy?
Craig Monger should join us. Return back in a second. No, I'm doing all right. I think it's been a good week overall, wouldn't you say?
Been pretty good.
I mean, an eventful week. There's a better way to put it.
Very eventful.
Because when you look at it, and Austin Baranco, I think, laid it out nicely, how long are these deals over the tariffs and trade going to take?
Mm-hmm.
And I reiterate the point I made last hour. If you're worried about some of the oddities and messiness that you see online, whether it's right-wing or left-wing, like think of the energy that was out there when you saw Luigi Mangione kill that guy.
Oh, yeah.
And how little sympathy there was.
There's still weird energy about that whole thing, yeah.
And then you get into the Tesla stuff. And so my point is the way you actually keep that stuff
from getting worse is success. It's like any team with big personalities. You know what'll make those big personalities play well together?
What's
Winning.
that?
Winning.
Always does.
Now, the question is, will we win out of this? Yeah. I find this wholesale price number, we're actually down a negative 0.4%. So inflation going in the right direction on a core indicator. Now, does this keep going? A lot of this driven by fall in energy prices, but that is, at the end of the day, a pretty good thing.
I'm taking it and loving it.
And, of course, as everybody's focused on the trade question, it's like, have we heard that much about DOGE? I guess they found that recent fraud in the unemployment insurance claims, which people that weren't even born yet.
Getting paid already.
Right. Just post-dated.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow. It's what a mess. And so I think DOGE keeps chugging along. But what about Russia and Ukraine?
It kind of got quiet there, Joey.
Well, today, Trump envoy Steve Witkoff, who I believe told Tucker Carlson, I literally wanted to be Mr. Trump. I've admired him for years.
Good Lord.
And really, you see, like, it's this little cabal in New York where Trump's like, screw it. I'm just bringing in my guys this time.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I do not blame him at all.
So Trump envoy Steve Witkoff travels to Russia to meet Putin. You saw the video earlier of them meeting, shaking hands, you know, doing the quick smile for the camera and wink.
Right.
But this will be the third meeting between Witkoff and Putin as Trump pushes for a ceasefire in the war between Russia and Ukraine. Witkoff landed in St. Petersburg this morning, and met with Putin envoy Kirill Dmitriev, the Kremlin said. Ahead of Witkoff's meeting with Putin, Trump wrote on his Truth Social account, Russia has to get moving. Too many people are dying.
Yep.
Dying's all in all caps. Thousands a week in a terrible and senseless war. A war that never should have happened and wouldn't have happened if I were president. Do you believe Trump on that?
Well, I can't not, to be honest.
I do. I think there's so many. It's a point Dave Smith was making in that debate last night. There's so many off ramps.
Yeah. I just don't. And because he really more than ever wants to be a peace guy. Yeah. And he didn't want more wars when he was in.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and think of how irresponsible it was after Russia says since 2007, this is our brightest of red lines. You have American officials within the government saying this is one of their brightest of red lines. Even folks who wanted to expand NATO.
Well, obviously.
Said, Ukraine's a special case.
Well, obviously, the morons didn't believe him.
Well, and it's not just they didn't believe him. They thought we can do whatever we want. They send Kamala Harris to go over to the Munich Security Conference, I think at the end of 21, and say, yeah, we're bringing Russia into NATO, or bringing Ukraine into NATO.
How'd she say it?
I don't probably wine and Xanax o'clock.
Did anybody pick up on it?
And what a miserable thing. So I tend to agree with President Trump. This would not have happened because I think he would have had a lot more common sense. He probably would still be funneling weapons in there and whatnot, but I think he would have very quickly made a deal to head this off. But,
I think you're right.
We can only wonder. But Trump has become frustrated. Negotiations haven't made much progress in recent weeks and said at one point that he was, quote unquote, pissed off about comments Putin had made on Ukraine. Mm-hmm. If no ceasefire is reached by the end of the month, Trump could move forward with additional sanctions on Russia, either through executive power or by asking Congress to pass new sanctions legislation, which I'm sure the Congress of these here United States would oblige.
Yeah,
we will know soon enough, in a matter of weeks, not months, whether Russia is serious about peace or not. I hope they are, said Secretary of State Marco Rubio last week while visiting the NATO summit there in Brussels. Last week, Witkoff hosted Dmitriev in Washington in an effort to break the logjam, while Ukraine agreed to Trump's proposal for an unconditional ceasefire and subsequently agreed to plans for a smaller scale maritime ceasefire. Russia made a series of new demands, including the lifting of some U.S. sanctions. We are making progress. We hope that we are getting relatively close to getting a deal between Russia and Ukraine to stop fighting, Trump said on Thursday during that public cabinet meeting. The U.S. and Russia implemented a prisoner exchange on Thursday that included the release of dual U.S.-Russian citizen Ksenia Karelina. The negotiations on the deal were a result of previous meeting between Witkoff and Putin in March. Trump said he appreciated Putin's decision to release Carolina. He mentioned Ultimate Fighting Championship CEO Dana White told him she's the girlfriend of a UFC fighter and asked him to help in releasing her. U.S. and Russian diplomats met again on Thursday in Istanbul to discuss the normalization of relations between the countries. A State Department spokesperson did not immediately respond to Axios' request for comment. And it's a pretty straight-up report. As I saw earlier, Witkoff is in the middle of meeting with Putin. Wonder what sort of history lesson Putin's giving there, given the whole Tucker Carlson play. But, yeah, I hope it works. And I was, Craig's rejoining us. I was reiterating the point that I hope this works for Trump, because I think we could go into the nastiest domestically and internationally if this stuff doesn't work out.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, we're on a knife's edge in many ways with all of this. Let's go to Robert, who's been very patient. Hey, Robert, you love the show today?
You know I do, Joey.
Awesome.
I had to wait a little while, and hey, Eddie.
Hey, buddy.
I had to wait a little while, but you had an interviewee on your first segment, and he said he lived in China 15 years, right?
Yeah, that's Craig. Our buddy Craig here.
And, I'm not trying to rebut him. Hey, you still there?
Yeah, Craig's still here, man.
I'm right here.
Hey, buddy, I'm just Robert. It made me want to ask you a question. You're in China, and you said a lot of the people in China aren't even aware of what China's done, like the tank and everything. Anyway, this is my question. Is that not the same thing that's happening in America when half of our country, through CNN, MSNBC, CBS, all of them, don't even realize that we've had an open border, that we're paying a ton of money, that we're just getting ripped off? And that's one question. And let me finish, because Joey and Eddie both know Robert can't hold a conversation. He's going to ask a question. That's my first question, is if you see the same thing in America. And my next question is, when it comes to Israel and Hamas, has, Israel, they went there in World War II reclaiming, it's not so much about reclaiming the land, they were getting slaughtered. You see what I'm saying? They were getting slaughtered.
Well, I think we get the point, Robert.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying, which side are you on? Hamas, you can vote somebody in, but if the people at the top want to take all the money from the world and build tunnels and just a way to keep fighting, they're not wanting to live. And I just want to know if y'all agree or disagree. It don't matter, because we're all Americans.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, Robert. Thanks for listening, dude. So I guess the first question, do you see the same thing in the United States?
No, because in the United States, it's any ignorance that you have is intentional. If you're too lazy to go find out the truth, and that's kind of your own fault, you cannot find anything about the Tiananmen Square massacre. You can't find anything about the Red Guard Rebellion, the Boxer Rebellion, any knowledge that you have about the Mao Zedong's Cultural Revolution is all very flowery. Nothing about the starvation, nothing about the farming disaster. That's just simply, you don't have access to it. Now, again, I haven't been there in 15 years. I lived there for 15 years. I haven't been there in another 15. So I don't know what the access is to information for your rank and file Chinaman. But no, it's not the same thing at all, because we have unlimited access to information as Americans, and we're intentionally ignorant.
Yeah, I think the American, say, machine pulls off similar ends to the, say, Chinese authoritarian model with a very different model and means. They almost like oversaturate you with propaganda with different types. And what is it? The old Chomsky quote about you have very vigorous debate within very limited parameters.
Yeah.
And I think that was the trick for the longest time. Thank God for things like Joe Rogan and many other podcasts that's widened the picture of what we can debate. I guess Robert's point about, Zionism is happening before World War II.
Yeah.
But it does, obviously, the Holocaust and what's happening there hastens
Yeah, of
people
course,
moving there.
of course. And I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of years of history before that of Jews having issues in Europe. That's
Pogroms,
why the whole Zionist project began in the first place. As far as a side, I'm on the American side. Like, do I have to be on Israel's side or Hamas? Like, I don't like those choices.
Right.
I'm on the side of America. Again, I don't care what a foreign country does. The only reason that I'm giving an opinion on this one is because it's my tax dollars going to blow up brown kids in an apartment complex in a 25 by 5 mile, whether or not you want to call it a prison camp or not, a place of severe degradation and deprivation. But again, Hamas really should have spent the past several decades helping to build up its people and to allow its people to thrive instead of building tunnels and throwing rockets. Yes, that essentially goes without saying. But again, any criticism I make of Israel is not an exculpation of Hamas or vice versa.
Right. Well, and I thought last night in that debate, Dave Smith makes a great point. Thank God for Trump on this, because I think the one thing, Obama tells Trump as Trump's coming into 2016 is we are on the cusp of war. We are on a war footing. The industrial machine of war is moving towards war with North Korea. And talk about devastation, not just in North Korea, but South Korea and so much of the peninsula. How does China react to that sort of thing? It would have been a massive, it's an evil regime. It is one of the most, it's almost their cartoonish face to the world betrays how downright evil that regime is.
Oh, yeah.
And how bad it is. Say all of a sudden, as Kim Jong-un's talking to Trump, and Trump's like, take a picture, make us both look skinny. And Trump's selling them on, you can be rich and we can work together and all this stuff. I think Kim Jong-un, even if he changes his mind and doesn't want to be dictator anymore, he realizes as soon as he makes a move in a certain direction, he's probably dead, especially at the hands of his own people. One of the worst effects of Gaddafi being kicked out by our American or NATO no-fly zone is that Gaddafi cooperated. Gaddafi gave up his nukes. And see how he's rewarded? And I think they're the richest nation in Africa at that point. And now it's some folks say Tripoli's a little better now, but it's still the mass of the country is just miserable.
Yeah, it's not a good place. And I think I thought that was probably one of the more profound things that Douglas Murray said in the debate yesterday, where he was like, yeah, it's probably doesn't send a great message to the rest of the world that we decide to overthrow you as soon as you give up your nuclear arsenal. If ever there's an incentive not to give up your nuclear arsenal, it's that. So yeah, good luck with that. I mean, and again, why Iran might be interested in developing one. I know there's people that like to think that they're like a hair's breadth away from actually acquiring one, but whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I know there's been conversations while we're sticking on the foreign policy thing between the United States and Iran. We read a fascinating piece Byron Sheehy sent our way. A guy named Ken Klippenstein, his Substack, and he laid out, and it's something you thought you knew, but it was good to hear repeated, that the Pentagon and say the whole military bureaucracy is sort of trying to anticipate a president, have things in position before the president even moves in that direction, or they love to have things in the position they want it to be in to box in a president and give options. And what's definitely happening right now is that increase in B-2 bombers in the region. And I think the question of could the United States use our technology to utterly decimate these mountain bunkers with all these nukes, or supposedly what would be the place you store the so-called nukes? Do we have the capability of destroying those things? Probably. There is still the question, though, did you get it all? Yeah. There's a lot of mountains there. It's a huge tunnel network through those mountains. This is sort of the game of whack-a-mole that they've set up. But let's assume the U.S. could destroy these bunkers. Okay, well, Iran's going to just give up after that?
Doubtful.
Yeah. So, what's next, guys?
It's kind of like the same thing with the Houthis. It's like, what are they going to give up after you blow up their bomb guy? Doubtful. They haven't given up in the past several decades. And yeah, it's
It's a mess.
It is a freaking mess. That's why I say I'm on the American side. Why are we here? Like, why do we keep doing this? Why do we keep interfering in things that inevitably just shoot us in the foot later?
Now, I did see a clip of Pete Hegseth that I actually liked because it has to do with DOGE. And I'll just let the Secretary of Defense speak for himself. This is Pete Hegseth laying out some DOGE findings at the Pentagon.
All right, we're back with another update on cutting wasteful spending here at DOD. And this one is, as they say, a big one. This is a big day. We're signing a memo right now directing the termination of $5.1 billion in DOD contracts. Not million, that's with a B. $5.1 billion in DOD contracts.
What do y'all think is actually the $5.1 billion? Because it's kind of crazy what it is.
Furniture?
Not that crazy.
I was thinking furniture and paint.
Well, it's more something actually Scott Bessent mentioned that's across the U.S. government, but I'll let the Secretary of Defense keep going.
For ancillary things like consulting and other non-essential services. So here's a few examples. DHA contracts for consulting services from Accenture, Deloitte, Booz Allen, and other firms. They're going to save the department $1.8 billion. How about a software reseller contract for enterprise cloud IT services, saving the department $1.4 billion. A $500 million Navy contract for business process consulting. Again, process, lots of consultant. For administrative offices in the Bureau of Medicine. By the way, we need this money to spend on better health care for our warfighters and their families instead of $500 an hour business process consultant.
Damn.
A lot of consulting. How about this? A DARPA contract for IT help desk services that are completely duplicative with services already provided by our DISA workforce, saving the department another $500 million. We're also terminating on the DEI front, 11 more contracts for DEI climate, COVID-19 response, and related non-essential activities across the department. We are committed to rooting out DEI, root and branch throughout this department, and we found 11 more contracts, and we're going to keep looking. So that's $5.1 billion in DoD contracts we're getting rid of. On top of that, in support of the president's priorities to stop federal funding for academic institutions that tolerate anti-Semitism and support divisive DEI programs, this week DoD is also pausing over $500 million in funding to Northwestern University and Cornell University, and that's on top of the $70 million in funding we've already paused at Columbia, Penn, Brown, and Princeton over the last few weeks, as if any of these institutions need more government money at all. So for you're keeping score at home, today's cuts bring our running total to nearly $6 billion in wasteful spending over the first 6 weeks of the DoD DOGE effort here at the Defense Department. Their job is to go out and find the stuff that we can get rid of and then drive back into warfighting capabilities here at the Defense Department. So we want to thank our friends at DOGE. We want to thank all the folks here that have helped us unpack this, reveal it, and we're excited to make these cuts on behalf of you, the taxpayer, and the warfighters here at the department.
And it's just like the DOGE conversation, it's almost like the heat dropped off of Elon a little bit. Yeah, with the whole trade war thing going on. Well, we're not calling it a trade war. It's a trade war at this point, especially between the U.S. and China. Yeah. It's a trade war. Definitely what we're doing. But, it's always good to hear from the other side, right? Representative Greg Cesar. He's a Democrat. I don't really know much more about him. I think he's a congressman. And he's going to lay out, I guess, their perspective. Like you just heard, there's an example of DOGE at work. Like how much? $500 an hour for these consultants that do what? Like I think Booz Allen in particular, Scott Bessent said the other week that 93% of Booz Allen's revenues come from consulting fees to the federal government. Talk about a crony culture and a crony institution. But let's at least hear out the Democrats. What do you got? What do you got, sir? What do you got on Elon?
Here's the big news that people across the country haven't heard but need to know.
Okay.
50 days from today, Donald Trump must, by law, fire Elon Musk. Last night,
Yeah, he could just reassign him, sir.
76 House Democrats sent a clear message to President Trump. The clock is ticking. Since the beginning of this administration, Trump and Musk have exploited Musk's designation as a so-called special government employee to allow Musk to receive over $8 million a day in federal government contracts and subsidies while ignoring our conflict of interest rules and while funneling more and more money to himself and to his companies.
You mean like the SpaceX contracts that saved the astronauts that were stranded?
Yep. That was so selfish.
Like, this is what they have? Y'all are a party of jackasses. You know what I mean? It fits. A party of jackasses. Like, he's getting these... It's like the one company that's actually doing things and everybody can freaking see it. Anyway, let's keep going.
But the law is crystal clear. A special government employee like Musk must leave the federal government after 130 days. That means that Musk must leave office by May 30th.
Okay.
That means that 50 days from today, Donald Trump must fire Musk. 50 days from today, Musk's reign of terror must end. And that day cannot come soon enough.
His reign of terror, like he's Robespierre or something.
When can we start throwing rotten tomatoes at him again? Is that would I get in trouble if I start throwing rotten fruit?
But then it'll turn into hand grenades. We don't need that.
You know, we talked about the return of retard and how it's a good thing. I think there's another word. It starts with an F, rhymes with maggot, that I think also needs to make a comeback, and especially in regards to soft, fugly simpletons like this gentleman, who deserves nothing but contempt and perhaps, as Eddie said, the occasional rotten tomato.
I'd love to throw it.
I would love to.
I don't
frozen.
Honestly,
tomato.
at this point, and maybe I'm on a new regimen and I just feel good, a little less cranky. It's like all I see there is impotence signaling. I see a person with little to no power who's like, the reign of terror. He must fire him. Because we all know all the federal stuff is so crystal clear. All those laws, so crystal clear.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how the crystal clear laws gave Booz Allen, all this money over. That's how Stacey Abrams got $2 billion. It's so crystal clear. Whereas, like, billionaires actually trying to do things for the country. We were mentioning it yesterday. The Flagrant podcast with Chamath, fantastic. He laid out how his company's trying to add, say, competitive advantage to the United States. He partnered with some state folks, I believe in Michigan, to help remake a town. They were going to build a battery factory. They had to put in a 600-page report. They paid all the so-called consultants the feds wanted them to. They're denied it initially. Eventually, they get it. They get the government grant to build this battery factory. They get $100 million. It costs them a ridiculous amount of money and time to even get that support, because apparently Biden and team really want new infrastructure in the country, so much so that you have to, pay all these toll keepers and gatekeepers on the way to you actually building needed infrastructure. Stacey Abrams just files a grant, gets $2 billion in a month. So our priorities are all just completely cattywampus, if I can use that term. Completely. It's absolutely absurd. So I see the Democrats, and most of them at this point, it's just impotence signaling. But I need a little bit of a palate cleanser here.
All right.
I wondered, did y'all see this today? The clip making the rounds happened to Peter Ducey at Fox.
The Deuce?
Yeah. Make sure to watch this, Eddie, because it's Ducey doing his usual report right outside the White House.
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
Yeah.
This is good.
Right. Yeah, Peter, I appreciate it. A bird just landed on my head.
Hold on. Let me freeze frame it right where the bird shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bird just hanging out right on top of his head there.
Birds ain't real, Joe. You know what that was.
Peter, yeah.
That was an attack.
It was an attack drone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I appreciate it. A bird just landed on my head.
Yep. See how it's going back after him?
Yeah.
It's an attack drone, buddy.
I did not like that at all. Peter, the back of your head, your hair's standing up now.
I mean, you got good hair, though.
What is going on? That's probably so dirty.
It's probably so dirty.
Right.
Did he say dirty?
Yeah. I know.
Hey, President Trump, if you're watching upstairs, we got to do something about these birds.
Absolutely.
Where's the Park Service? The parks, they're always out here sweeping the street and blowing, except when the birds are landing on my head.
Oh. I was about to say you can't script that, but
it's pretty funny. But
I've had a bird poop on my head.
Yeah, I've had
really?
it a couple times.
Yeah.
What? Both of y'all have had a bird poop on your head?
And this was like when I was 18 and I decided to razor shave my head just on a lark.
Ooh.
So it made like a whole slapping sound.
We were blasting robins out of the tree in the spring with BB guns, and when a bunch of them take off, it's just kind of stuff falling out of the trees.
Oh, you were shooting them?
Yeah. What do you do with them?
No. I'm saying I get why they pooped on your head now.
Well, we scared them all.
You do know they're government agents.
You engaged.
Yeah,
in
that's why I was shooting them. Hello.
You engaged in a bird holocaust, and they retaliated.
I tried. It was only one shot at a time, but there was 8 of us. So
I used to do the same thing. That was the most fun you could have as a kid, is shooting birds with a pellet gun.
We actually took that up a notch, started shooting each other.
Oh God, with the pellet gun?
Yes.
Oh yeah, like the BB gun fights and stuff.
Yeah, and we swear it's only one pump, but you hear the guy over there pumping that thing. Yeah, he's gonna nail somebody.
Ow, man.
Be the middle of summer, you have these big heavy coats on.
It's the closest I got to that was paintball, and my
Man,
luck.
they hurt.
Oh, here, like the last time I did it, and I was young. I was like 16 or 17. It was cool. We went to a course, and like it was a tactical course. It was a lot of fun, and 2 different teams going up against each other. All I had was a face mask.
Oh man,
I didn't have a helmet.
Yep.
So I popped my head around one of the barricades.
Headshot.
I got shot right on the top of the dome, and that stung. I think I had a massive welt on the head.
I'd rather have the bird poop on me, Joey. I gotta be honest.
Yeah. You got the better deal.
Yeah, because those things hurt, man. I've seen somebody get shot with a frozen paintball. It might as well be a bullet.
Yeah, that should not. That's not legal.
Do you talk about a whelp? Yeah.
Yeah, that's no fun at all.
Well, $10 is $10.
Yeah, normal paintball, it's like, ow.
Yeah.
But it's not the end of the world by any means. Like somebody punching you a little bit.
Throw a clip in it. Empty a clip on you.
Empty. Oh, a whole clip of paintball? Yeah. No, I don't want that.
Well, we got this thing coming up. I'm trying to find out, what we can get away with.
No, like I'd been hitting other spots and it's like, oh, but you kind of like, oh, okay, I'm out and keep going. And when I hit on the top of the head,
That's just a stinger.
I'm done.
There was,
I'm out.
So we went to this place. It was up too close to Talladega, all the men in my family, where they had paintball, but they also had a thing where you had these little tanks that you could drive. They're small and shoot paintballs and your head's sticking out. Well, the thing is, most people, if you were just getting waylaid, you could kind of duck down and get in there. My problem is because I'm so tall, my head was still popping up.
Target.
And so my brother kept shooting me in the head. And I told him later, I was like, with each one that hit me, I was like, this is the one that's going to cause a psychological breakdown because I can't take one more. And then one more would hit. I'm like, no, this next one, that's going to cause a psychological breakdown.
Is that place still open? Can we do this? Would be so much fun. This would be so much fun.
And it was close to like they had like a market where they were selling guns and knives, and they had food.
Dude, it's a man's market.
And they had some like a military surplus. I got a pair of really nice boots for like $30.
Yep.
It was a great time. So I actually need to find out where it was. We should do that.
I would love to do that. I don't know if all 3 of us can go.
They had regular paintball, and then they had the tank paintball.
The tank paintball.
Oh, that sounds like fun. I'd go.
Yeah, we camera up and we paintball that.
Oh, in China, man, the airsoft. Like I know airsoft is big here now, but it
China,
wasn't
man.
back in the day. What?
China, man.
Like
I said China, comma man.
Oh,
I didn't catch the comma.
But yeah, we would do airsoft stuff, and we would look like we were in an ISIS training video. Everything, the guns look so.
They
real.
do look so real.
Cannot even, and this was back in the day, way before any regulation, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Airsoft to me is far superior to paintball.
Yeah.
Did it hurt? I've never been shot with airsoft.
Doesn't feel good.
It doesn't. It's not great, but you're typically wearing like BDUs or regular clothes.
You ever been shot with a BB gun? I mean, similar to that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty much the same. And the problem was one time you had teams, and some of they're very powerful. The airsoft guns are, and there was this guy. It was we ended up clearing out his entire team. There were 7 of us, 1 of him, and he was behind this plywood. And so we're all just walking towards the plywood, just lighting it up, and we think we're just scaring him, but they're getting through.
Oh,
and when
really?
we get to the back of the plywood, he's in the fetal position. And he was
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
So they are. They're busting through
It can
plywood.
get pretty bad.
Oh, wow.
No, my dad talks about many a BB gun fight, and it ended when he got shot right here.
That's
like right under the right eye.
I'll admit that usually ends it, but only for the day.
Yeah.
Usually later, next day, somebody's playing with BB gun again, and you think I can hit him from here?
And I could have had a cycloptic father. If it actually is kind of cool.
That's kind of cool, yeah.
I experienced some friendly fire at that place in Talladega. My little brother, he was there. I come around this piece of cover, and I startle him, and he just shoots me right in the tip, point blank.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Don't you stare at me like that, man.
Ooh.
Don't
Looked like
stare
I
at me
had
like
a
that.
top hat for like a week.
Oh, I bet.
Swollen. It was not good.
Anyway, we got to hit a break here. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And their Pest Pro, Ashley and that fantastic team are ready to meet any and all of your pest control needs. From basic pest control services, spraying around their house, the outside and inside of the house, to maybe you do have some like ants get in the kitchen, or you leave something out and you have some nasty mess, say, on the back porch. That can happen for certain.
Yeah, that can happen. And you're going to have here pretty soon, we'll have ants in the yard.
Or maybe you go into the back shed, like you mow your own lawn. Yeah. You're like, all right, time to, let's see if the lawnmower's in good condition, the weed eater, all this stuff. You open up and it's a wasp.
One giant wasp nest?
Oh, that's no fun.
Nope.
And especially if it's like, okay, you go through a whole can of spray and they're not all dead. You need to call Pest Pro Services out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm long gone. Yeah.
Right. You're playing with fire there. And of course they can also do termite checks. You should already gotten that done this year. It's very important to save you a very expensive problem if they actually start eating through your property. And of course they also do mosquito treatment. And this isn't like, they come out once. No, I think it's about 8 times a year at the high points of mosquito season.
Yep. They've already started covering the Airbnb, and I'm already seeing some. Have you seen the giant skeeters? So I know if the big skeeters out, the small ones are out. So yeah, I would get it definitely done, because who wants to be in their backyard? You enjoy this last few weeks of nice weather we can have, and you're swatting skeeters.
Yeah, it's no fun. So y'all check out Pest Pro Services today. You can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. That's just call them direct, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that fantastic team that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Stanley spent his life in the saddle, wrangling whatever life threw at him. But nothing prepared him for the fight against low T and ED. Shame practically hunched him over. Online pills just gave him a headache. He begged for a lifeline.
Well, maybe it's over.
Montgomery Men's Health said no. Medical conditions, old age, there's hope. This is about real treatments. Science, not one-size-fits-all guesswork. Montgomery Men's Health was designed for men who hate going to the doctor. Personalized plans, cutting-edge treatments, overseen by an actual urologist and providers that take the time to listen. With low T and ED treatments others only dream about, we fight like hell to get you back in the saddle. Because every second you wait, your condition could worsen. Act now. Don't let time slip away. Dial 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Your consultation is only $99, including blood work. And you'll know your T level before you leave. Montgomery Men's Health, making it happen.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Since 1966, Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches has been more than just a place to stay. It's been a place to belong. For children facing hardships through no fault of their own, our ranches provide more than shelter. We offer a warm home, a loving family, and a future filled with hope. With open arms, we welcome these young hearts, giving them the love, structure, and guidance they need to heal, grow, and thrive in a warm Christian environment. Together, we can give Alabama's children the chance they deserve, a chance to dream, to succeed, and to feel truly cherished. Every donation stays within Alabama, directly impacting the lives of the children who need it most. Join us in making a difference. Visit alabamasheriffsYouthRanches.org. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and download our app from your app store. We'd be honored to have you as a part of our mission to lift up Alabama's youth. And remember this, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Pretty good weekend forecast, only a little bit cooler. Today's high temperature up to about 70, 71. Look for a sun and cloud mix. There could be an isolated late afternoon or evening shower, but not a big deal. Otherwise, chilly overnight, low temperature down to about the low 40s. Saturday will be the coolest day with high temperature only in the mid to upper 60s and down to about 41 by dawn on Sunday morning. But a nice Sunday afternoon warm up with plenty of sunshine, high in the middle 70s, maybe even teasing the mid 80s by Monday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. 272-9228.
Hey, quick question.
Yeah?
How do you like your burger?
Burger?
Remember this afternoon?
Oh.
With Pamela? I went with medium well.
I'll just go screw myself.
You're dieting. Which is killing me because I ain't bringing in snacks because I don't want to be the bad guy that eats the snacks in front of you.
No, you can eat the snacks in front of me.
I can't be that guy. I
Say medium.
feel horrible. All right, that's what
And I don't want any, I'm not a rabbit. I don't want any veggies.
Okay. All meat all the time?
Yeah, like a cheeseburger, basic cheeseburger.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm sorry. This has to go. All right, we have to do this real quick.
Okay.
What is your burger? Like, if you had to make a burger, anything on planet Earth you can put on it, what's your burger?
I can go with my Five Guys order because that's pretty freaking awesome. Smash burger. I love the smash burger, but I just do bacon cheeseburger and I do keep it simple. Mayo, mustard, hot sauce. That's it.
Eddie?
I like this burger this guy in Alaska used to make for us called the Spinard Burger. It was 2 patties, 2 pieces of cheese all the way, but he also put a fried egg on the top.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I like the fried egg.
Man, it was I'd never had. That's the first one I ever had. And
I'm not against, by the way.
That's what. Yeah.
I'm not against, by the way, all sorts of other burgers, but that's usually my standard order.
It's kind of hard to screw up a burger, in my opinion. It's pretty basic fare. I'm the same way with you, though. Bacon, egg, cheese, mayo, ketchup, and mustard.
And by the way, American cheese?
Oh, yeah. That's all.
Yeah, the melty American.
Yeah. Only way to go. No, the
oranger the better.
I actually kind of like 1 or 2 slices of American with 1 or 2 slices of Swiss. That's a
that could work. Oh yeah, like a Swiss mushroom burger.
That's another good burger.
Like a garlic aioli.
And heard at my Mexican restaurant, he made me what he calls a Mexican burger. It was amazing. It was salsa and everything on it, and he had some what's that sausage they put on there?
Chorizo, yeah.
Chorizo, yeah. My friend.
No, the problem I made a burger doing that too, but the problem is it's so overpowering.
Yeah.
So if you make like a smash patty with the chorizo and it's like super thin and gets crispy, that's good.
Yeah, it's
that's
some kind of good.
Yeah.
Man, I'm hungry now. But yeah, medium.
Gotcha.
All right. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Yes, sir. I want to call and just tell them about something.
All right. You're on there.
Oh, hey, y'all, I just heard y'all talking about the paintballs and all that.
Yes, sir.
Look here, I was watching the episode of Cheaters one time, right? And the big film crew and all them bars in this boy's apartment caught him in there with the girlfriend, cheating.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, y'all can't come in here. He jumped behind his couch and pulled up one of them automatic paintball guns. He started dusting. Look here, it was so funny. He was shooting everybody.
That'll clear a room, buddy.
You could hear him. You could hear the cameras. Hear the cameraman. Oh, ow, and the camera, was jerking all over the place. God, no wonder that was funny. I laughed my butt off. I must say so.
I appreciate the call, man. That's awesome. I got to look that up.
Yeah, it happened. It was on
Cheaters. Man, I hadn't thought about that show in
a good
ages.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, y'all have a good day.
Hey, thank you, too.
Man, that was a fun call. I hadn't thought about those shows. And like those, you got to be careful. You got to have some stones on you if you're the producer and the people actually making that show.
Didn't that guy get smacked around a time or two, the producer?
Mm-hmm. And I think, by the way, Primetime 99, Alex Stein.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a producer for that type of show.
I could see that.
Yeah, it's just a big guy who's obnoxious
Yeah.
and like he'll do stuff where even I'm like, like that's uncomfortable, but he just lives in it. He lives in the uncomfortability of it all. 272-9228, 334-272-9228. It's funny how this guy on CNN, Harry Enton, just keeps announcing wins for Republicans.
Oh,
like earlier we played that congressman like Musk's reign of terror, and like, yeah, this is impotence signaling on their part. Well, here's another suggestion of why. Now, this is, I think, a stupid question. I think they ask people, who's the party of the people?
Mm-hmm.
Which is very generic. And like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
But here's the take. This was, again, CNN. Let's listen in.
To me is one of the most shocking pieces of poll data that I truthfully have seen this year, or maybe in any prior year.
Really?
Yes, really, because I want you to take a look. Cares more about the needs for people like you. You mentioned the Cape Ball. We got a tie, even after this tariff war had already started, split between Democrats and Republicans on how people feel which party cares more for needs of people like you. And why is that so surprising? Because I want you to take a look at prior years. Democrats always lead on this question. Back in 2017, before the 2018 midterms, 13-point lead. 2005, a 23-point lead for Democrats. 1994, which was a big Republican year, a 19-point lead for Democrats. And now, all of a sudden, a tie? All of a sudden, the Democrats, who are the party of the people, no more. We get a tie on this question, on a question that has traditionally overwhelmingly been a Democratic advantage. Which party cares more for the needs of people like you? It's truly something I would not have expected to see, especially after this tariff war had begun.
Yeah, that is a heck of a swing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow. No, it's because I think Trump stole so many of their issues. Seriously.
Immigration being the biggest one.
Immigration, the sort of protectionist, at least mentality towards workers. We're going to protect our workers. Something in 2016, Victor Davis Hanson pointed out in his case for Trump. Trump was the first guy he remembered saying, our farmers, our steel workers,
right?
Like our yada, yada, yada.
Right.
Like this collective, almost very everyman conversation. These are our people, and I'm looking out for our people. And it's kind of like amazing where you go, yeah, you're right. I haven't heard of anybody else speak that way.
It's the farmers.
Yeah. Yeah. The farmers. Yeah. Whereas it's now, no, it's our
more personable, much more.
Farmers. But 272-9228, another quick break here. But before I hit the break, this part of the program, in fact, the entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you with any and all of your needs when it comes to, that mortgage of yours. Could be you want to refinance.
Mm-hmm.
Say you got a lot of credit card debt. You've been using credit cards to make ends meet. You've been making minimal payments, and it's really weighing you down.
Right.
Well, if you have equity built up in your home, you can get yourself on a much sounder financial footing and consolidate that debt. Or it could be you're hitting retirement age, and you're tired of the overhead costs being what they are.
Yep.
And you want, say, a more sustainable path over the next 10, 15 years. They can help you there. No matter your goals. It could be you want to take out some money because you've always wanted to do that big trip across the country with the kids or something like that.
Maybe you want to do an expansion.
There you go. Reinvest in your property.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you're looking to buy for the very first time. Well, they can walk you through that home buying process from pre-approval all the way to closing day. Or it could be it's not your first rodeo, but you're looking for local folks that you can trust as opposed to a big bank or something where you felt like you didn't get the service that you really needed and deserved. Y'all check them out today. That number for Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
When you need a new door or window replaced, you want someone experienced who delivers expert craftsmanship every time. Davis Door and Sash. Right now, you can get a tax incentive for installing energy-efficient doors and windows. Mention this ad and get 10% off materials. Davis Door and Sash was voted best of the River Region in windows and installation in 2024. We'd love to work for you. Call 334-288-6010 or visit davisdoorandsashalabama.com. Davis Door and Sash is the perfect fit for your home.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdis. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
You want your floors to scream new, fresh, and stylish. But if yours are groaning, tired, old, and outdated, you're in luck. Because the Prattville Spring Sale is your opportunity to revitalize your floors while you save on the best brands available, including Mohawk, with perfect and professional installation and Prattville's unbeatable lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement. Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Start shopping now at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen from Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing wonderful. How are y'all?
Oh, we're all right. Surviving, I suppose. What's the score there today, Cohen's?
Oh, man. 28-7. We got Michael Jacks. He spent some time in Troy. He's now in Ozark. Getting everybody's systems done. We had a couple people that got struck by lightning with some of these storms that went through. And anyway, he's replacing speakers in Troy. And I think it's an audio-video receiver that's going on in Ozark. And then he's got something doing Pike Road on his way back. And and then he'll be done for the day. So one thing I want to say is you asked me what the score is, and I get to tell you. But I've had 2 customers come up to me asking me about the score, and just so your listeners would know, basically it's when you have a customer that is shopped at maybe one of the box stores, and then they shopped at Cohen's, and we won them over, and we're getting to sell them and take care of them and mother them after the sale. So that's what the score is all about.
Well, there you go. And I mean, I knew that, but I like you clarifying that for the audience. And folks, they have great products there, electronics and appliances galore, but it really is that service that makes a difference at the end of the day. You can always shop from home, peruse the website, thinkcohens.com. But I really encourage you to stop by 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. And they're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. Yeah, you might be, if you stop by, folks, the next great story of a great success and a great score, let's say.
That's right. That's right. Y'all come see us. Let's ask you some questions, and let us help you make the right choice for whatever your needs are in appliances or electronics.
Well, I appreciate it, Michael. Hope you have a good weekend.
Hey, you too, sir. Take care.
See you, bud.
And that's Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. I'm pretty much out of time, but let's fit in Crawdad here. Hey, Crawdad.
I have not visited with Cohen's in a long time, but what he just clarified for me about that score that's right on, man. You know, you go and you're looking around for a particular thing, and you go over here, and then you go over there, and you're going to get a totally different relationship because they're going to treat you like a customer. You're not a wallet with legs.
There you go.
Okay, that was nice to say because I meant it, you know.
It's beautiful.
I for many, many years, you know, Mr. Raymond, good Lord. Okay, now, by why I called you. My question was this. Particularly, you guys have any idea why in the world the meeting between Putin and Trump was in Turkey and in Istanbul? Any idea why Turkey was going to host that meeting? There must be some more to it.
Well, I think it's more the Turks were the first ones to start as mediators. Very early in the war, there were things called the Istanbul Accords. The Turks have a good relationship with the Russians, as well as a good relationship, of course, with the West. So they're kind of the perfect gate between East and West, where this can all go together.
No idea. That answers everything right there very much. Thank you so much. I was wondering.
Appreciate it,
And
Crawdad.
you answered the question. You get the score is 8 today.
Thank you, Crawdaddy.
Thanks, Crawdad. We got to hit this top of the hour break. Final hour coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The top federal prosecutor in New Jersey has launched an investigation into Democratic Governor Phil Murphy and State Attorney General Matt Platkin. That's over the state's directive to local law enforcement not to cooperate with federal agents conducting immigration enforcement. A judge set to decide whether to proceed with the resentencing hearings for Eric and Lyle Menendez. That's in light of the Los Angeles County District Attorney opposing their release. The brothers were sentenced to life in prison. That's after being convicted of murdering their parents in 1989. The Texas Senate has approved a proposal to create a Homeland Security Division within that state's Department of Public Safety. The intent is to help streamline intelligence. On Wall Street, the Dow had 569 points, the NASDAQ adding 200. This is SRN News.
Hey everybody, Charlie Kirk here. As executive director of Turning Point USA, a national radio host, podcaster, husband, and father of 2, my schedule is about as crazy as it can possibly get. 2 years ago, I made the decision to take control of my health, and I chose PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition because I needed a plan that fit my hectic lifestyle. I travel a lot, and my schedule changes every week, so I need something simple. They customized a plan for my body and my schedule, and I quickly lost 30 pounds. Now I have the energy and focus to get through my busy day. PhD will help you too. They won't let you fail. Just give them a call, schedule your weight loss consultation, and see if their program is right for you. Call 855-696-2020. That's 855-696-2020. The first 11 callers who mention the word healthy will get 2 weeks added to their weight loss package. Call 855-696-2020 and mention the word healthy, or visit them at myphdweightloss.com. That is myphdweightloss.com. It worked for me, and it can work for you. myphdweightloss.com.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing.
Hey, this is Robbie Clark. Stay cool with a spring tune-up with Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Don't wait. Schedule today. Give us a call at 334-277-2125. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Pretty good weekend forecast, only a little bit cooler. Today's high temperature up to about 70, 71. Look for a sun and cloud mix. There could be an isolated late afternoon or evening shower, but not a big deal. Otherwise, chilly overnight, low temperature down to about the low 40s. Saturday will be the coolest day with high temperature only in the mid to upper 60s and down to about 41 by dawn on Sunday morning. But a nice Sunday afternoon warm up with plenty of sunshine, high in the middle 70s. Maybe even teasing the mid-80s by Monday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
1819 News.
The Alabama Senate has passed a budget of $10 billion for the Education Trust Fund and fiscal year 2026. There was also an additional supplemental allocation of funds totaling about $1.9 billion for the Education Advancement and Technology Funds. This brings the total to nearly $12 billion allocated by the Senate for K-12 public schools. State Senator Arthur Orr heads up the Senate Education Budget Committee and says this bill does not include a teacher's pay raise due to the additional costs involving state health insurance and retirement plans. The bill now heads to the Alabama House for consideration. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
The mayor of Orange Beach, Tony Kennon, has had a conversation this week with the secretary of the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency, Hal Taylor. The meeting was initiated by Kennon over the continuing claims coming from Alabamians that the Aaliyah Marine Patrol Division has been harassing boaters along the Gulf Coast with unnecessary tickets issued in various zones. Mobile County Sheriff Mayor Kennon says that Aaliyah Secretary Taylor was very sincere and is taking those complaints seriously. Mayor Kennon says he appreciates getting the information from boaters in Orange Beach in order to make that experience pleasant for everyone. And the body of a missing boater was located on the Dog River on Thursday. A diver with the Mobile Fire and Rescue Department found the boater's body hours after a call was made by an eyewitness who saw the man capsize in his boat. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Janny King, the king of clean, delivers reliable, high-quality commercial cleaning services through a proven franchise model that empowers local business owners. Janny King's franchise owners receive the training, support, and resources needed to succeed, while clients benefit from tailored cleaning solutions backed by a global brand. Janny King ensures consistent results, trust, and success for everyone we serve. Go to JannyKingCleans.com and find out how we can help you. That's JannyKingCleans.com.
Janny King, the king of clean.
Johns Hopkins University has found that just mild hearing loss doubles your risk of dementia, so hearing loss isn't something to ignore.
But hearing aids are so expensive and ugly.
Not anymore. Meet Audion Hearing. You can get nearly invisible hearing aids without a prescription starting at $98 a pair, and they're ready to use right out of the box. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, and with over 1 million customers, Audion is easy to trust. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Only on the CW.
Live all season.
How you like that, baby?
See NASCAR Xfinity superstars Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill, and Sam Mayer.
Let's go win it!
championship! Alongside racing's hungriest up-and-comers.
Whoa!
Timbers are flaring!
Tell him I'm coming for him! That kid is amazing.
It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series on the CW.
Tune in to the Montgomery CW Saturday with live coverage from Bristol Motor Speedway starting at 3:30 p.m.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
Shut up, silly woman.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader's the one wearing the barbecue and pig shirt.
That's right.
And Craig Monger here.
I'm afraid this shirt. I'm not afraid of some pork.
Well, I'm just saying, what is that haircut called? I like it, but what is it called?
I don't know. I honestly don't know what it's called. It started as something, and then I've just made adjustments over the past couple of months. My sister-in-law cuts my hair, and so I'm kind of like, so the thing is, I'm not afraid to shave my head, like to buzz cut it, because I have the head for it. So I just like trying new crap and just seeing what works. And if it screws up or looks stupid, I just shave it off and start over again. But yeah, the problem is the back. It's so preposterously curly.
Yeah, I noticed.
It's
naturally curly. You're not putting something in there.
No. I actually put things in it to make it not curl.
As a guy with that kind of hair, yeah.
Oh yeah, and when I wake up in the morning before I put product in it, it looks like I licked an electrical socket. Yep. It's so bad.
Eddie, you ever rocked a mullet?
Oh man, big time, dude. I rocked it so hard. I intentionally had someone give me a perm in the back of my head when I was probably in 11th grade.
Oh my!
Oh, that was.
Did you ever do the rat tail? Did you ever have the rat tail?
Yeah, for like a summer, but it never really grew on me because I saw other people with it, and I was like,
Did you do the mullet? Can you? Well, you can't really grow facially.
No, I can't bring it.
But mutton chops?
I wish I could. I wish I could.
Or just the Billy Goat, like the Van Dyke beard?
I can do like 2 or 3 hairs, but that's really it.
Black people love my hair.
Yeah,
they're obsessed with it. Like because it's so close to black hair.
Got good hair, man.
Like if I wear it, because occasionally if I wake up in the morning and I don't want to put product in my hair, but I want to go to the gym, but I don't want to look retarded, I just throw a bandana over my head. Sure. If I do that, when I come home, I have waves.
Oh
like
my!
I could get waves like that if I wanted to. Like do the whole do-rag thing. And I actually broke, my hair is so thick, I've broken multiple pairs of clippers overseas when they were trying to go through my hair. Just go.
So that concludes. I noticed I have gray streaks now.
Man, yeah.
Salt and pepper, Joseph.
I like it.
I'm getting it. I don't like it at all.
You don't like it? I like it on my hair. It's a nice contrast.
It looks good with the black hair. When you have blonde hair like me and
it's just, yeah. And plus, I'm getting older, and that's kind of weigh on me and seeing gray hairs.
Are you ever gonna dye your hair? Do you think?
I hate to say it. I didn't think I ever would, but I think I'm gonna be that guy.
Yeah, but again,
say it. I think I'm gonna be that guy.
White guys with hair dye is like white girls with tanning. They need an honest person in their life to tell them, like, hey, it looks like I don't know whether you should brush your hair or dip sushi in it.
Well, that and who was it? Someone on TV one time when they started sweating. Giuliani. Thank you. That right there, I was like, no, I'll never dye my hair, and that's the reason why.
I had a guy I used to work with, and this is right around COVID, and he would dye his hair, and he would sweat, and it would bleed into his mask that he'd have to wear, and he just turned his mask into this gross thing with the streaks running down his face. I called him Kiekelman hair. Little soy sauce head.
Oh, goodness. Anyway, let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Eddie, what y'all talking about my mullet for?
Because some people, be quite honest, are jealous because they never did grow a mullet, Joey.
I mean, I could.
I'm not saying you couldn't, but you didn't.
No, I've never.
I got one now.
Oh.
Yeah.
How's it play?
It plays pretty good.
I bet it do.
You can ask them girls I know.
I just love running my fingers through his mullet.
Yeah, it's about 9 inches down my back.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got one. I'm a product of the 70s.
Yeah, you are.
And you dang skipped I am. But I'm going to tell you, my question, again, when I call, I am so worried about Joey, Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't he have a girlfriend?
Got a little sugar in his gas tank is what I heard.
It's really more like even if Joey was married and had 3 kids, he wouldn't let it out.
Yeah,
that's Joey.
I think he's got a girlfriend. I think I saw him out with some girl here about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I could have swore it was Joey.
Was she a big girl?
I don't know. You think about 220 big.
No, it's about medium. No, it wasn't Joey if it was 220.
220 isn't big?
335, 340 on the hoof. That's Joey all day long.
Bro.
What? I'm not trying to relax in the pool. Like, what is this?
What?
Hey,
Suddenly you don't
Joey,
like big women now.
And Joey, you could use her as a float.
That's what
And
I was
some
saying.
shade.
It's like I'm thinking of that
Big
scene in
women can
Heavyweights
cook.
where they killed the blob.
You guys talked about how much you like to eat. Big women can cook.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
actually, you know what? I found it to be the opposite.
They can
To
eat
be
out?
perfect- No, because they have no standards. Like a
Oh.
woman who's, a woman who looks like, she's not a rail, but she looks like she's been doing some deadlifting.
Mhm.
Like those are the ones that know how to cook because they have standards as opposed to like a
I know a
220
lot of
pound
cooks that
animal.
don't really have standards though.
Yeah, but
Always
that's the point.
so.
If you're like 250 pounds, then you're just a garbage disposal at that point. But if you're a little thin and you still cook, that means that you know how to make it like good.
Well,
Grandma
if
was
big
thick
girls-
and she could cook.
Yeah, that's just true.
Hey, those big girls, you know they can cook because like big like that, they use a lot of bacon grease. Ain't that right, Eddie?
That's right.
You had to get
And they don't
indoors.
use a scoop. They use their hand to scoop it. They don't use a measuring cup.
That's how they put on those jeans that you see him wearing.
Hey, before I change the subject, before I go, I drank a 100-pound marshmallow last night, guys. It's the craziest thing in my life.
I missed that. A what?
I dreamed a 100-pound marshmallow.
You dreamed you were 100-pound marshmallow.
Oh, I dreamed I ate a 100-pound marshmallow.
And then he lost his pillow.
Oh, there you go. That was the old one. Ain't it? Well, I took up enough airtime. Y'all have a good week.
See you, man.
Terrible.
All right, buddy.
You really are a very closed off person. Personally. Like,
Oh, you think
romantically?
he is? You gotta meet Jay.
Well, because
Exactly.
there's not much going on.
But you wouldn't tell us if there were. If you were, you have been on the radio.
Oh, you would
long
know
enough.
if you actually saw me like in love, like being a complete
Yeah, but
idiot.
if
like,
you saw Joey out at a restaurant with a woman and you walked up, hey, Joey, what's up? He'd look at you. Who are you?
Exactly.
it's like Rickles
Yeah.
asking Frank Sinatra
That's
to
right.
come over
That's
when he
my
has a
favorite
date,
line.
and then when Sinatra comes over, he goes, "Frank, you see I'm doing something. Why are you
Why are you
bothering
bothering
me?"
me?
Yeah.
I had a rule. If I saw one of my boys out with a girl that I didn't know,
Yeah.
I didn't approach him.
You're cool like that.
Yeah, because it was just like, I don't know what this is.
Right, don't know what's going on.
And I'm not going to make him have to apologize for me at this early stage in the relationship.
I should have met you earlier. You had really good advice.
I mean, why would I need to go out when I can put on a perfectly good movie with somebody and order like a bunch of crab legs or something?
Dude, that is so true. But for some reason, women, they just want to go out. I
They
don't
want
know
to be
why.
seen. The peacocking, man. They're gonna have that.
It's like I would rather do that. I'm the same way. I'd rather order some food in, sit and watch a movie.
Why you need you a country girl?
Well, I mean, and then you got Daddy-O calling up saying Joey swims with the manatees or something, and it's just like,
Swim with the man.
gracious, you know
don't
what
call
I'm
me?
saying?
I love manatees.
Yeah, I know you do.
Especially if they cook, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel attacked.
Do they get do Eddie's dates get food stuck in their baleen?
No.
That's a baleen is what
the whale
teeth.
eat, yeah.
They don't have teeth. They have baleen.
baleen.
That's how they
It's
strain
like a
out the
mouth.
krill. Yeah.
It's a big
okay.
screen. Yeah.
It's
Anyway.
a sophisticated joke.
Yeah. You have to be a zoologist to get it.
A zoologist.
A zoologist?
Yeah, a
zoologist.
Anyway, you're the only one I think in this room, Greg, who has seen the Netflix fake
Yes.
4-part series called Adolescence.
Yes.
Well, there was an interview on the BBC with, I believe, a Tory or a so-called Conservative Party MP, and she's trying to point out the whole problems, like we need to investigate these gang rape cases.
Oh,
it's pretty horrifying. So I just want to set it up that way, because just listen to this interview. If this is what is being put out by the BBC, no wonder the UK is in the toilet. Let's listen.
Watched Adolescence yet?
No, I haven't. I probably won't. It's a film on Netflix, and most of my time right now is spent visiting the country.
It's a four-part series on Netflix, and everyone is talking about it. It is prompting conversations about toxic masculinity, smartphone use, young men feeling that they're being ignored, the idea of misogyny being increased in school. Why would you not want to know what people are talking about?
Well, I think that those are all important issues, and those were issues that I've been talking about for a long time. But in the same way that I don't need to watch Casualty to know what's going on in the NHS, I don't need to watch a specific Netflix drama to understand what's going on. It's a fictional series. It is not a documentary. What I've been talking about recently, for instance, is banning smartphones in schools. I've been going to schools all around the country. I was in Evesham just yesterday, talking to head teachers, talking to students, and they talk about the problems that phones are causing.
The difference this documentary has made compared to...
It's not a documentary.
I didn't think so.
Wait, no, Craig, you've seen this. It's not a documentary.
It's not even like The Office where it's a faux documentary. It's just a single shot show.
Okay.
It's brilliantly done with the cinematography.
Yeah.
Each episode is a single shot. That doesn't make it a documentary. It's not even pretending to be a documentary. It's a drama. Right. So I don't know what this dunderhead is talking about.
Well, I'm going to keep going with this because it's like this is really what's being fed to the British public.
Leader of a party, the Prime Minister, going around talking in schools, this has made much more of an impact than any politician has in terms of what people are talking about right now. So it's really confusing that you don't want to know how this has made an impact, how parents are now saying we need to know more about smartphone use.
I can read what people are saying about it. I look at research. This is something that I've been looking at for a long time.
You wouldn't want to know straight from the horse's mouth.
One of the things that I'm more bothered by is the fact that just yesterday we had Labour telling us that they're not going to be investigating the rape gang scandal, something which had happened all across the country. That's real. That's happening right now. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a fictional documentary. We had thousands of, if I may just finish, we had thousands of victims. Female victims, those are girls, young women, and some boys too. I met the mother of a boy who killed himself after being a victim. I want to talk about that because that is real. And yes, I'm glad that the Netflix drama is something that people are talking about, but it is not the only thing. There are many other things that are going on. And my job as opposition leader is to hold the government to account, get them to hold a full national inquiry on what is one of the biggest scandals in our country.
And do you stand by the thing you just said a moment ago, that you're comparing Adolescence with Casualty? These TV programs.
What the hell are you talking about?
See, Eddie and I haven't seen this.
No, it's like you're certainly just
Right.
why haven't you watched this show? Imagine
getting paid for every person that watches this damn show or something, because
Yeah,
that's all they seem to be
No,
pushing.
they're acting like it's a documentary
Right.
so Keir Starmer can push a particular agenda and ignore the rape gang.
It's like most people's idea of like politics and intercontinental discussions and ruling. Game of Thrones has had a much bigger effect than anything else. What are your thoughts about the Targaryen dynasty, Mr. Trump? Huh? God, the Brits have become retarded in recent years.
Yes,
My
they have,
God.
brother.
See if this improves.
Really mean to say that?
I'm saying very clearly that my job is not to watch lots of TV. My job is to get out there and make sure that I'm talking about the issues that are happening in the country right now. And yes, of course, we should be talking about misogyny. The rape gang scandal is one of the most misogynistic incidents that has happened in our country. So me talking about that, me asking for a national inquiry is doing my job. But telling me that I should go home and watch Netflix is you trying to tell me how to do my job. But I don't think that's how to do my job. I can read about...
At what point did I tell you...
Well, you've just said that you were surprised that I haven't watched it. We don't have to watch a particular show to know what is going on in the country. I have met parents of children who've had those experiences. I have met children who've been victims. I think that is enough for me to go out there, make policy, look at the research.
Yeah, adolescence
But I don't think the right thing is to be deciding who has watched which show and working out whether that means that you are informed. There are many ways for us to be informed.
Adolescence has made more of an impact than any politician has on parents.
You already said
when
that,
it comes
Witch.
to the issue of smartphones and misogyny, and yet you are saying Despite that, you don't need to know about it.
Well, no, I haven't said that I don't need to know about the issue.
You don't need to watch it.
I don't need to watch a specific show to know what is going on in this country. It's a fictional show. Let's talk about what's real. I'm going out there every day. I have constituents coming to me telling me what they're worried about. I had a colleague, an MP, who was murdered due to Islamic terrorism. You look at what's happened in Southport, you look at what's happening in Rotherham, in Oldham, there are real issues. I'm getting out there talking about it. Asking me to sit down and watch a television drama that lots of other people have seen, have written about, have told me about. I know what it's about. I think it is important, but it was also, it's also fiction. Let's talk about what's happening to real people. You had a mother of a woman who was killed. Let's talk about her. That's real life. That's real life.
Wow.
This is the most ridiculous conversation I've heard in a long time.
Right. No, and it's almost like, why are y'all so obsessed with pushing a fictional show instead of talking about actual Oh, is that how bad the propaganda, how dystopian the UK has become? That you could just occupies everybody's imagination with some fictional account? Like, that's explicitly fictional, a fictional drama, and yet we get to ignore, like, you know, real problems staring us all in the face,
like rape gangs
that even us here in frickin' Montgomery, Alabama, know about. The whole world knows about, and y'all won't address it. Man, the mother country. I don't even want to call it that at this point. Thank God we opened up a can of whoop ass at Yorktown.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just, like, I'm watching this and I'm just in disbelief. It's like, shut up about the show.
Yeah.
It's a TV show. It's like, it's had more of an impact. No, it's a popular show that will come and go, like so many others. It's like, amazing. Nobody's talking about Tiger King these days.
No.
And that was, Tiger King has done more to draw attention to.
We talked about Tiger King the other day.
You did?
Yeah. There was this.
When did you do that?
There's this guy, I think in California or Texas, that he got tigers from Tiger King, and he was out walking them around.
Oh.
And so the cops got involved, and they got on the loudspeaker because he wouldn't come out of his house. And he said, "I rescued these tigers from Joe Exotic himself from Tiger King." But basically, yeah, they were telling him you can't let the tigers out.
No, but that is, the Tiger King thing is more, that's what everybody first started watching after the lockdown started. Yeah. That's why it became so big.
Sure.
And by the way, it leads in as kind of a funny, wacky, like, look at this wacky guy with his tigers. That show got dark.
It got very dark.
Real quick.
But my point is, it's like shows are here today, gone tomorrow. And, you know, some of them stick around, but those are few and far between. Even good shows, the general culture just forgets about it pretty quickly. So why do they need to see that? Because it's is that the only show?
I think it's because
where someone has where kids on social media have caused problems. That's been the plot of multiple movies.
Well, I think it's another form of propaganda. Like, I remember, like, my grandfather still watches NCIS. Oof. And I know, but he's 88 years old. He's allowed to still watch NCIS. And so I'd never watch that crap, but I'll catch him looking at it, and you see the promos for other shows. And this was about a year ago during the election year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a promo for a new show called The FBI. And it's all these, like, good-looking men and women, and they've got these incredible, like, you know, they're doing these incredible jobs stopping the terrorists or something. And you're like, oh, the FBI's clearly, somebody's paid for this to make the FBI look better in certain people's minds
100%.
who never actually dig into reality. They just learn from whatever network TV pumps out at them.
Yeah.
I saw that most clearly. It never occurred to me that intelligence agencies or law enforcement agencies might fund movies until I watched that Ben Affleck movie Argo.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the CIA paid for this. Like, pretty clearly.
272-9228. That's 334-272-9228.
What about the movies they make for other countries? The propaganda films.
Oh, it's nuts. It's like, even though
I've seen some, and I'm just like, and you know, this is a product we have put out. No one else would have put this out.
Yeah, and I'm glad you reacted the way you did, Craig, because that, when I first saw this morning, I'm like, yeah, what is this Looney Tune world of the United Kingdom at this point?
Yeah, and it would be different if she was like, hey, have you seen this documentary on the prison system here in the UK?
Right.
It's like, that would be valid. No, I haven't seen it. Well, they addressed this problem. It's like, no, have you seen this work of fiction? Hey, you know, I know that you want to, you know, you work with the king, right? So there's this guy, there's this character, Aragorn. Have you read The Return of the King? What?
So maybe they could actually. They all should just on 24/7 do a marathon of Lord of the Rings on the BBC to remind folks of
This is
what
you
power
could be.
does. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Remember when Britain was great? Right here.
Yeah. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Willie C.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Willie C.
Hey, what's up?
Willie. Hey, I was going to comment on that FBI show. It's even worse than you described, Joey, because a good number of the storylines on that show center around some conservative person being the villain.
Of course.
Yep.
And I've been in the room with people watching that show before and immediately pointed out that it was propaganda. And of course, I was treated like a crazy person.
No, but it's like once you like, I guess you've taken the red pill. Like once you see it, you're like, this is clearly propaganda.
Yeah, once you see it, you can't unsee
and it's
it.
not even good.
Oh yeah, propaganda stands out to me immediately.
Yep.
Now,
even Law and Order. I watched like a Law and Order episode, and it's just like the crazy like social causes they try to plug into there.
Well, and the most recent was people mashed up a 1960s episode of the Brady Bunch where one of the kids gets like measles. He's like, "Oh man, I have to miss school.
Yeah, I got the
I
measles.
wish I could get the
remember that
measles all the
episode.
time."
Yeah.
And then it's a Law and Order SVU. It's like, "My daughter's school, there's a measles outbreak. Everybody run!" And it's like, what are we doing to people's minds? Stop watching this crap.
everything's so dramatic.
Yep.
But all right, you guys have a good day.
You too, man.
I'm sorry you had to watch that show, sir.
I remember 24, which was just such a great show.
24,
yeah, I've watched it multiple times. When I
It
was
really,
growing
as
up.
just a show, it's good.
It's really good. But then when I watch it as an adult, I was able to see the propaganda aspect of it pretty heavily. But
Yeah, we need to torture the guy because we got to find the terrorists to stop the nuke from going off.
The hero is the torturer in the show.
Yeah.
Right around the time where this was a giant cultural conversation. Yeah, it's fascinating. Jack Bauer still rules, though.
Oh yeah, that show just as a show it will leave you on the edge of your seat. That is one. If you go down that rabbit hole, you will binge watch it.
Oh yeah, it's always good. But yeah, it is amazing how much propaganda is a part of our art, our cultural art.
Yes.
And yeah, I think a lot of people aren't aware of it, and so many people let movies affect their worldview in such a big way.
Yeah, they do.
In a huge way.
Yeah, they do.
Well, and what I love is, I guess the left still doesn't understand. Like, we need our left wing Joe Rogan, or we need our left wing stuff. It's like no. You actually, because I think in particular of the comedy boom, you are seeing much more organic improv stuff that is unique to each individual. Say, like Kill Tony.
Yeah.
Like Adam Ray is not pushing some line for some big corporation, nor is Tony Hinchcliffe or Shane Gillis or any of these guys up there. It's more just their general point of view. And it's much more organic. It's less contrived than a lot of the crap that used to get pushed. Remember Joe Biden saying, I think the whole conversation, when Obama was still against gay marriage, and Biden comes out as vice president for gay marriage, he's like, I think Will and Grace just changed the whole conversation.
Good Lord.
Well, it is intentional. I mean, that is part of it. I mean, look at what the newest wave of Avengers is. It's just absolute duty water.
It's bad.
It's like watching Doctor Strange, and the main character wears a trans pin and has two mommies. It's like, and she's like Hispanic, but it's called America. And it was like, okay, we get it.
Right. Oh, it's very on the nose, and it's over the top. I mean, how did the Russo brothers get to make like Captain America Winter Soldier, where it's all about the government's incredibly corrupt and we must tear down the whole intelligence agencies? Like, but man, it's sad, and I'm looking for, like, I guess I'm excited for next week. I was telling Eddie off air, going to see the opening of Hamlet, but I'm also watching some other great theater. That's British classic, Western canon theater, Hamlet, but true American theater. It's hard to top in terms of true American theater. WrestleMania, brother. And that's coming up, I guess not this weekend, but the next one. And I must say, I've been watching like just the key promos on YouTube leading up to it. I haven't been watching full episodes of Raw, SmackDown, or anything. But Triple H is now Paul Levesque. Triple H is now running the creative of the company since Vince McMahon has been kicked out, ousted. And it's so much better. And to the same point, I was making it to Eddie that it's more like an improv show than it is every little line is scripted. It's more like you, the wrestler, know Seth freaking Rollins knows his character better than any writer could. We're going to give you the beats you need to hit, the cues you need to hit, but generally you do you, man. And it's sort of got that feeling of back to like late 80s, 90s wrestling. And it's a lot of fun, sort of a free for all if you're ever into that sort of thing.
I think wrestling, like to understand the history of American culture, you kind of have to have some knowledge of wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, and I love that, like, recently Triple H was on Fallon, and they're just straight up at this point, like, yeah, we got baby faces and heels, and, like, it's a fictional show, but just enjoy the show.
Yeah.
It's in the same way you enjoyed Game of Thrones when it was running. And it's fun. This whole arc it's supposed to be John Cena's retirement arc.
Oh.
And Cena has turned completely heel. Like, all of you just used me, including that stupid little kid right there in the front row. And it's this kid decked out in John Cena stuff. And he's like, you stupid kid. And I'm like, okay, this is quite, it's quite fun to watch these people do this crap. Anyway,
I wonder if they ever go over to that. So, like, after when the camera's off and be like, hey, kid, I'm just playing around. Or do they just expect them to know?
I think you got to play into it on camera, at least. Maybe behind the scenes, they're like, I'm so sorry. You need another Make-A-Wish? I've done plenty of them. Quick break here. We'll be right back. 272-9228 if you want to join the conversation.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hello, I'm Mr. Ben. If your vehicle has seen better days, fear not. Help is on the way. Mr. Ben's Auto Spa Express has added a professional detail shop. Specialized techniques and products are used to get your vehicle back to showroom shape. Hand washing, waxing, stain removal, odor removal, shampooing, minor scratch removal, and more. Mr. Ben's Auto Spa Express, next to Fraser Church on the Atlanta Highway. Come by for a free estimate. Look like you've been to Mr. Ben's.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For many years, my team and I have worked diligently to provide our veterans with top-notch service, as it is our honor to serve those who have served us in the armed forces. Madeline and I are certified veteran lending specialists. Nationwide, there are over 22 million veterans that qualify to purchase a home through the VA loan program. Yet less than 2 million of them currently have a VA home loan. Many lenders do not keep up with the ever-changing guidelines and benefits of the VA loan program. They are intimidated by the program, resulting in many veterans not obtaining VA loans. This is unacceptable. The VA home loan program offers service members and veterans with 100% financing. You've already paid your down payment. If you are currently serving or have honorably discharged, we would love an opportunity to discuss how the VA program can serve you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Thank you for your service. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. Even in the digital age, radio remains the most powerful reach medium for connecting with audiences. Its ability to engage listeners, reach a wide and diverse audience, and create real emotional connections sets it apart from other forms of media. Radio's adaptability and easy access ensure its continued relevance now and in the future. Want to learn how radio can work for your business? Visit BlueWaterBroadcasting.com. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Pretty good weekend forecast, only a little bit cooler. Today's high temperature up to about 70, 71. Look for a sun and cloud mix. There could be an isolated late afternoon or evening shower, but not a big deal. Otherwise, chilly overnight, low temperature down to about the low 40s. Saturday will be the coolest day with high temperature only in the mid to upper 60s and down to about 41 by dawn on Sunday morning. But a nice Sunday afternoon warm up with plenty of sunshine, high in the middle 70s, maybe even teasing the mid 80s by Monday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon, or as you call this thing online, Joey Clark Live. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Sam. Hey, Sam.
Well, thank you for taking my call. Oh, Joey, first I just wanted to say, chat room has been busy this afternoon. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, man. Hey, I got good product. 24. When Craig was mentioning 24, I was a big fan of 24, and it kind of tied two topics together because that was during when I kept a VHS tape. It'd be bit Thursday night or whenever it came on, I'd be somewhere else. But that's one of those things you made sure you taped it and watched it and enjoyed it. And doggone, I was leading somewhere. Anyways,
we got some folks asking, "What's Craig rolling?"
Do it now?
We had some folks on the comment section going, "What's he rolling over there?"
Cigarettes.
Well,
yeah, I roll cigarettes every show.
I assume he has a lot of anxiety, and that was some of that hair y'all been talking about. He's twitching all up in a wad. But excuse me. Okay, here you go. My favorite thing on 24 was Jack's bag. That was one of those little things that would come up occasionally. Is because whatever he needed, he could reach. He had that sling bag he carried around. And it was amazing the stuff that he would pull out of it. It reminded me of Encyclopedia Brown, old stories years ago. I lost it. Doggone it. I was heading someplace, dude. That's it.
It's all right. Appreciate it, Sam.
See you, Sammy.
Yeah, man. Live long and prosper.
Let's go to Dirty Water. Hey, Dirty Water, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good, man.
Good.
You guys been talking about the propaganda and the road apples that network TV throws at you. You know what? I've been watching TV since the 1960s. And the biggest thing that haunts me is why wasn't Marianne and Ginger pregnant?
That's a good question. It's a really good question.
Skipper was a Navy man.
But what about Gilligan?
Well, I mean, Gilligan and Skipper slept in the same hut. That
Skipper was a Navy man?
They're just friends.
Yeah.
Or cellmates.
But what gets me? The guy that played the professor was a World War II Marine hero. And that's the truth.
Is that right?
Yes, it is.
So
yes,
why wasn't he
is.
laying it down?
I don't know. I wonder if he got it blown off in combat or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, I love you guys. I love the show. I listen to it every day. Y'all be good.
Thank you, Dirty Water.
That was such a good call. I didn't know what to say.
Call, yeah.
Let's go to line 4. You're on there. Who's this?
Papa B.
Hey, Papa B.
Hey, guys. Did you know Don Knott? I believe he was a Marine, too.
Yes, he was.
He was the soldier.
And wasn't Mr. Rogers also?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was a Green Beret.
It's incredible, right?
What we always told
you watch them on TV, you never would have known.
Mm-mm.
I mean, Don Knotts, of all people, you're like, there's.
Oh, yeah. Don Knotts was great. No Time for Sergeants.
Whole lot of cocaine for that man, though.
Really?
Really?
I don't know, but you never saw him when he was worried. He was always like had that.
Now that you say this, I'll be noticing it from here on out. But I didn't think about that. But the erratic behavior, skinny.
By the way, you just did that wave again.
Was it better than my finger guns I did the other day?
No, Eddie just did the wave where every finger waves. Like it's a wave of it's a
Because
little.
I'm happy to see somebody.
It's a little fancy.
Yeah.
Why don't you go live in a hut with somebody?
You mocked me the other day for doing the finger
You want to
guns.
go get on a deserted island together?
With you?
No.
Was that like a Jedi mind trick way?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
sure.
What it was.
Right. Sorry, I just noticed that probably.
Yeah, but not. I mean, there was a rumor about him, and he was quite the ladies' man.
Yeah, yeah.
But we won't go into that. I'm looking at these news, so-called quote unquote news feeds. That just come across the computer. I have Edge, and it's my, portal or whatever. And these suckers are, they'll have news articles, and then right beside it, what happens on, Star Wars, some kind of Star Wars story, or some, Star Trek, or some other kind of fictional thing. I'm like, are we doing news? Are we doing, like entertainment and sci-fi kind of stuff? It's almost like they are trying to blend or maybe, distract from reality.
But hasn't the news, for better or for worse, blended with entertainment a while ago?
You know what? You're right about
20
that.
years or so, or more than that?
Well, for instance, it used to be like really boring. I always cite this. Go back to the first debate between George W. Bush and Al Gore.
Okay.
And it's before 9/11. It's like America. It's the golden age. We just got out of the 90s. We can do anything. We can kick anybody's ass, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
But there's something incredibly creepy about the production, knowing what's about to happen. Like it's almost too scripted, too shiny. Like it's a shiny veneer over everything. And it was that fake sort of presentation that Trump shot through. Now, Trump does politics as entertainment as well. Look at the whole cabinet. Now it's been put together. But I think that fusion happened a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that, but I'm talking about more of a fictional kind of thing too. Like a distraction from reality or a blending of reality. So they want to try to, create an alternate reality is what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, you're right. Entertainment and politics. Well, you talked about the perfect example. Was it yesterday or the day before with Senator Kennedy?
Yeah.
That is high value entertainment, bud. He should be like, have his own YouTube channel or something, making some money with those kind of things, Anyway, I'm seeing that. And I'm just wondering, dang it, I think they're trying to, distract from reality somehow, and that back to the point of, what y'all were talking about earlier with that, what's happening in Great Britain. My goodness. I don't know, man, what is going to happen with that country? They are really toasted.
Well, and I just watched another, at least portions of a podcast. Chris Williamson, Modern Wisdom, had Douglas Murray on, and they're both Brits, born and raised as Brits. Now, I think Chris Williamson's full-time in Austin.
That's what I thought.
And Murray's almost always in America now, if not, in some war zone. And they were asking, well, the last time you went back, what's it like back in our homeland? And they're like, it's the most depressing thing ever.
I bet.
Like, everybody thinks it's only going to get worse, and when there's no way out.
Yep.
And maybe that's why they're trying to use fiction to control people. But I don't know what's going to happen in that country. They have an opportunity to split away from the continent and really join the United States along with many others in a new world order. But right now,
the people that are in control over there, they are brutal.
They're the worst.
They are just absolutely brutal. They're dominating every little thought, every little word. You can't say this. You can't even.
Or they'll take you to jail.
These are
thousands of
communists.
people
These are
locked up,
communists.
or at least visited by the police.
It's citizens. It's their own citizens.
Right. It's crazy. And so, I'm almost thinking, oh my gosh, are we going to have to go back over there as a country and, drive the folks out that are the communists in Great Britain too? What's going to happen? How can their own people even rise up against them?
They can't.
These regimes,
No Second
I mean,
Amendment.
they don't have any weapons.
That's right.
The weapons have been stripped away from them.
It's tough to beat a guy with a machine gun when all you got is a pitchfork.
Yeah, it is. It is. Anyway, all right, guys. Thanks a lot.
See you, bud.
Appreciate it. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. Well, they're ready to help you fellas out, especially if you're, I don't know, feeling run down and tired. You're also entertaining this idea of, oh, I saw those generic online pills. They could help me with that thing. No, like those often don't work and they're quite expensive.
Yep.
Or, you just find that you're lacking that energy you once did, that edge that you once had when you were younger. And this can be part of aging. And there are a lot of things out there that people are offering, but why not go to a great local shop here, Montgomery Men's Health? And actually, they have treatments where you can leave that day feeling better instantly. But it all starts with a $99 consultation and a basic quality of life check. They ask you about your sleep patterns, your sex drive, these sorts of things. Are you gaining weight, losing muscle mass? They'll walk you through it. What's the actual problem here? And of course, it's a quick blood draw, quick test. And if you do, in fact, have low T, they have treatments there at Montgomery Men's Health that can truly change lives, including like that day. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym.
Brother.
That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism, and usually even notice an increased libido. And you can actually book the same day that you call. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. We got a bunch of calls here. This is a very quick break. We'll come back to y'all right after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money?
Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest.
You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist?
That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
I see.
Yes, he is our preferred money man.
The money man with the money plan.
You've been paying attention.
Well, could you give us those numbers one more time?
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man.
Oh, what's that?
I'm not an elk.
Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you?
Knights of Columbus.
I am not even going to make a comment.
Well, the baby liked it.
Is your business feeling the heat of cyber attacks? Tired of worrying about ransomware, data breaches, downtime, and employee mistakes? GTI Managed IT Solutions has been your trusted partner since 1999, safeguarding and supporting businesses like yours from the ever-evolving threats in the digital world. GTI, your peace of mind is guaranteed. Call us today at 819-4650 or visit gtinow.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live local talk, the River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Oh, look, we have Poison Ivy on the phone. Hello, Poison Ivy.
Well, hello, how y'all doing?
We're all right.
Well, the governor has been binge watching some 70s TV shows, y'all. And because of one of them 70s families, we got that legislation that she signed the other day. The acronym will explain everything. Y'all ready?
Yeah, sure.
Television hierarchy entitled Baby Reproducing Allowances dictated yesterday serendipitously. The baby. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you. As always. Thank you. 272-9228. I mean, have we learned anything today, Craig?
That no matter what, we always talk about food for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's always fun to talk about.
Eddie's over there just having a gay old time.
Yeah, he is.
What?
Nothing.
Did you bring your helmet just in case today?
No. No, I didn't bring no helmet.
And sometimes you have those episodes.
I didn't read my bike.
You're like, we didn't land on the moon. You might as well just slam your head against that wall.
We're going to have that talk now?
Yeah. Get your helmet.
You're the one that's going to be in for a rude awakening when you finally realize, oh my God, my government lied to me about that too? Did they tell me any truths at all?
Let's go to Ray Bull.
We should.
Prattville Carp before we get into something here. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Well, no, they've lied to us about everything, including Bigfoot.
There you go. Although
you know he's running around out there in Billingsley somewhere.
I saw him in Slap Out, up actually right off the lake.
Absolutely. I'm convinced he's in Billingsley.
Yeah.
But at this point in the day, normally I am like head over heels in work and paperwork and all that. But instead, I'm sitting on the ground in my den blowing up balloons.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, well, Emma Ruth's coming home, and she's having her gender reveal tonight. And I'm always in charge of the balloon bouquet.
So because you're full of hot air, or what's it do?
No, I'm a girl dad. I know how to do balloon arts. I had to figure this crap out years ago, and Andy's like, we need a balloon art. So I'm like, yeah, I'll get the stuff out of that and get to work, baby, no problem. So if y'all need a floor, don't call me. Call one of the guys at the store. They're all sitting there waiting on you to call them at 285-8117.
Again, that's 285-8117. And be sure to say, hey, I heard Ray Bull's getting ready for he's being a proper girl dad. Well, good luck with that, right?
I will tell you this, what's going to go down tonight. They're going to pull the string out, and certain colors are going to come out, and I'm going to be crying like a baby.
Oh, I got a feeling that's
I know. I just know it's coming. I'm ready for it.
Have you become, say, more wistful with age? Like that sneaks up on you more easily?
No, not really. I'm grumpy as all to get out. I'm the grumpy granddaddy. Like I'm packing the kids up at 5:30 or 6 and loading the car up.
Fair enough.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
See you,
Ray. No, and I know what he's talking about. When I went for my niece's first birthday, it was me and her other uncle, my I guess sister-in-law's brother.
Cool uncle.
And we were assigned blow up all these balloons, build the balloon like arch or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, fine.
Ray Smart. I talked to him off air. He's got a pump.
Oh, he's got a pump.
Yeah.
It's a good call.
Yeah, that's what I told him. When he told me the whole design they were doing, I was like, "Ooh, you need an air compressor."
I was about to say, how many balloons we just blow up? Feel a little lightheaded right now.
Yeah, I got man. Speaking of which, I need to get an attachment for my air compressor. Busted. I'm in the switching. I'm in the phase from switching from winter to summer, and so I break out the lawnmower, break out the weed eater, and just nothing's working. Got to get a new deck belt, got a new battery. Yeah.
You could be like Pamela. They were cutting their grass, and their lawnmower died in the middle of the yard.
Oh, damn!
And it's so big and heavy.
Oof.
And the rear end's locked up for some reason.
It's just sitting there.
Yeah, zero turn.
Oh, damn.
Ooh, yeah, those are heavy.
It's like you got to get a tow truck in there now. That's
not going to work.
That's not fun.
Yeah,
like you can power through a push mower,
right, or just walk away.
Yeah, I was so excited. I was so excited on Saturday. I changed the blades out, and I was like ready to go. And then the deck belt just kept flying off. So I had to order one online. So my grass is stupid long right now.
Get you some goats, man.
You don't let my wife hear you say that.
Is
She
right?
wants goats in a big way, but I don't want to have to build their enclosure.
My partner Hannah just got a mini cow.
A mini cow?
It's a little bit bigger than Roxy, and it's going to get a little bit, probably like a Great Dane.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like something off the African plains. It's got stripes in there. I told her, I was like, look, I think somebody stole this from a zoo, and you got it off eBay. I really don't think this is a normal mini cow.
What's the point of a mini cow? Do they make milk, or is it a dairy cow?
It's just cute.
It's just a cute thing, yeah. It's a cute thing. She's like Ellie Mae Clampett, dude. She will wreck. If she sees a possum on the side of the road, she will wreck her car to try to go make sure that possum is okay. A turtle? Forget about it. She'll stop 30 miles of traffic to make sure this turtle gets across the damn road.
Well, I say this one poor guy. He was out. He was coming the opposite way of me one day, and he got out of his car to save a turtle. I didn't know that, so I'm just seeing this guy walk down the middle of the road, and I would have, and I was like, why is this guy walking down the road? And then as soon as I see the turtle, it was too late.
Too late,
and I smacked it. And I was like,
oh no!
I was like, if this guy would have just not been walking down the road. then I would have seen the turtle and probably would have gotten out myself. But,
Turtle murder.
yeah, like most things, the path that we take in order to avoid a result is typically the one that causes the result. Poor guy.
True.
But yeah, he was so disappointed in his face.
He was, imagine.
I
Just
felt
going to
bad
pick him
for a
up.
half second, and then I just started laughing.
Actually,
because he was so
you've
disappointed.
given me an idea for a great short film.
Really?
Yeah, postmodern, like almost Kafka-esque, where the main focus is the guy who's stopping to get the turtle. And maybe you have a little bit of backstory of how he loves animals, or maybe his life's falling apart. He needed something. And that turtle, saving that turtle would have picked him up after everything, gives him some purpose, and then a Ford whatever hits it.
It made such a crunch.
I bet. It reminds me of a story. I don't know if you guys ever did this. Y'all probably were better teenagers than I was, but you'd see someone standing by a mud puddle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And just soak them. Okay, cool. That wasn't as bad as I thought.
Oh, that wasn't as bad as me. I used to throw fireworks into people's living rooms.
Oh, good God.
Like smoke bombs, too. Like if I saw an open window, we turned our African friend purple for like 2 weeks because we locked him in an elevator with a smoke bomb.
Ooh.
And it was like a multicolored
Just
one.
stick to you, yep.
And it was purple, and he had like a purple hue for like 2 weeks, and he was coughing for a week too.
Yeah, up in Mentone, I think. What are the fireworks? The
M80s?
M80s,
yeah, like snuck. It's in Mentone.
Yeah,
beautiful.
I love Mentone.
It's just at
places,
at dusk, and it's like the sun setting, and it's just. And my buddy's dad is just relaxing on the porch, overlooking the river and all this stuff. We sneak up under the porch, light those things. He was going to kill us. Like he's because it was loud as hell with the water right there.
Everything quiet, and all of a sudden this.
Yeah, he almost killed us.
You ever go skiing up in Mentone? You can go snow skiing up there, man.
Never did that.
Yeah,
I've never been skiing before.
No, we went on a journey down the canoe to the girls' camp. That was fun.
How was that?
Actually, they let us in. We're like, this is an excuse. We need to use the bathroom. We went all the way down the river here, and they're like, yeah, y'all come on. We're like,
y'all you boys need to use the bathroom? Yeah, sure, come on in.
It's not like anything happened. But,
You talking about road trip? I don't have a road trip in me.
Come on,
I'm too old for a road trip.
You guys.
That's part
Come
of
on,
being
I'm older
older.
than both of you guys.
I'll road trip. He's the one. He's the negative Nancy here.
Well, no. See, this is what I hate is people that they won't. They'll road trip. They'll take days to road trip, but they won't come over and watch all 3 of the extended Lord of the Rings.
I'll do that any day, all day, every day.
No, you won't.
Yes,
in
I
one
will.
day.
Sure. Especially if it's like the first time, like your son's watching it. Like it's those movies are better when you're first showing. It.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah, I'm always down for a Lord of the Rings.
I'll come over in the Zoom form for that.
What?
Zoom? Y'all could zoom me in on the computer.
No,
I figured you could come over. What sounds better? Nothing sounds better than spending an entire Saturday eating ungodly amounts of food, drinking booze, and watching Lord of the Rings.
I agree, but what'll happen? Eddie will drink the booze, Eddie will eat the food, and sleep through Lord of the Rings, and you guys will probably mock me as I sleep. Or
that's the point of watching, of having seen them 1,000 times, is it doesn't matter if you fall asleep because you know what happens.
And it's the extended version, so we're talking what in total?
16, 17 hours.
Yeah,
I bring a case of Bud Light.
Well, the extended Council of Elrond. It's actually like it's more accurate to the book.
But of course, yeah.
Well, you know what about the? Have you ever heard about the fall of Gondolin? Viggo Mortensen actually broke his toe in that scene.
And it's pretty accurate to the end of Ancient Sieges. It's always somebody on the inside letting people
but the fact that they left out Tom Bombadil was just
yeah, but he doesn't really fit the rest of the story.
No, he doesn't. You gotta have the hunting of the Nazgul with the swords that they gave to Merry and Pippin. I don't know what a naked woman looks like.
I didn't have sex till after college. And on that note,
broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. President Trump's immigration agenda playing out in hearings in key cases. Today in Louisiana.